It's not a slipper, but that piece of glass just as magical today here in Düsseldorf, Germany, because it is the World Bowl trophy that will signify the champion of NFL Europe 2006. And players have fought and sweat their way through 10 regular season, hard-fought games just to get to this point, and today they are here. It's championship time as the Frankfurt Galaxy take on the defending World Bowl title holders, the Amsterdam Admirals, here on NFL Network. Hello again, everyone. I'm Kurt Menefee from a buzzing LTU arena here in Düsseldorf, ready to crown the champion of 2006 here in NFL Europe. And as most of you know, many of the players here in NFL Europe are already under contract to NFL teams. They're just trying to make that next step. Guys like Kurt Warner, Leroy Glover, Dante Hall, they've already done that. But as I'm joined by my partner, Brian Boldinger, we can tell you that Boldy, they left here, some of them winning a title, others not, and today is about getting that chance to own a ring.
It really is. If you look at the trophy, it's 41 pounds of crystal. Most of these guys have never won a championship in their life, and they're blessed with a great atmosphere out here today. It's phenomenal. So they want to go home with a championship, but it's also about player development. Those guys you mentioned all played over here, and today we have contrasting styles. This Frankfurt Galaxy team, the best team in the league in running the football, led by the leading rusher, Roger Robinson, ran for over 1,000 yards this year. They're going to try to do it on the ground. Amsterdam, they're the leading passing team in this league, with the leading receiver, Skylar Fulton, with over almost 1,000 yards of receiving. They do it through the air. Contrasting styles. One of them's going to win. One of them's taking the World Bowl trophy home, Kurt.
All right, to put it simple, the smoke will clear here in many ways, on the field and off it. A champion will be crowned. World Bowl 14 comes your way next. And that's what it's all about. A chance to win the World Bowl trophy, and head coach Bart Andrus of the Amsterdam Admirals knows how good it feels to win the title. He won it last year with the Amsterdam Admirals and now trying to make it back-to-back titles. Andrus opposed on the opposite sideline by Mike Jones, who is making his second appearance in 3 years as a head coach in the World Bowl. Lost the World Bowl to Berlin back in 2003. All the smoke that you see has not cleared yet, but it comes from all the excitement that's going on around this game. The pyrotechnic display before the kickoff, a lot of singing, a lot of dancing, a lot of celebrating, and Baldy running all the way up from the field, so maybe that's huffing and puffing.
Let me tell you, that's not all for me. The pyrotechnics were here. The roof was closed, so the smoke got enclosed. They've just opened the roof up to kind of let some of this out right now. Hopefully the players can breathe as well, and we can see the game. This looks a little bit like the Fog Bowl back in 1990 with the Eagles and the Bears.
Well, that's part of what you get with a championship atmosphere. This place is absolutely electric right now.
Kurt, I just came from downstairs, and these fans have been at a party and inside the stadium for the last couple hours.
Amsterdam has won the toss. Art Thomas will take it to the 5-yard line. And he runs into trouble right about the 23, and that'll be it. And we'll get our first look at the Admirals offense, the highest scoring offense in NFL Europe, led by Jared Allen from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Allen making just his 4th start, replacing the guy who was the MVP of this league, Strahan, who broke his ankle back in Week 7.
Big shoes to fill for Jared Allen, because Strahan was the MVP of this league, playing only 7 weeks. But I think he's increasingly gotten better each week that he's played.
And he's gotten more confident, and his teammates have become more confident in him. Admirals begin officially at the 24 with 4 wide receivers. Allen rolling. And finding a receiver on first down, out to Skylar Fulton. And Fulton, the big name on offense for this Amsterdam team, a team that puts up numbers through the air, really. They pick up a lot of yards, and as we mentioned, scored the most points of any team in the league. But Fulton is the guy that they like to go to. Almost got 1,000 yards this season, and remember, they play only 10 games here, so 992 in that span. Absolutely brilliant.
Kurt, he's nursing a hamstring that has been bothering him for 2 weeks, didn't practice this week, will be in and out of the lineup. He believes that he can give this team a lift and be a catalyst to get this team off to a good start today.
Well, he picked up 13 yards on the first play. Off the play fake, Allen. And that one is caught by the tight end, Ben Hall, right out to the midfield stripe. He picks up 14. Oh, 2 plays, 2 big gains for this Amsterdam offense. A bit surprising against this Frankfurt defense that comes in as the #1 ranked defense in all of NFL Europe. Jerome Nichols there on the defensive line led the league in sacks. And in the secondary, their safety Brandon Hall led the league in interceptions. Ball on the 50-yard line. Blitz coming. Allen lost the football, in trouble, and goes down. Antoine Hawthorne credited with the sack.
Well, Kurt, we said that they're a passing team, and they've come out the first 3 plays, and they've demonstrated that. This, again, play-action pass right here. Watch Jared Allen almost lose this ball. Almost slipped out of his hands right there. Got away from Benetka there. Was able to just get down and hang on to that football, but Jared Allen, as we said, taking over for the MVP of this league. He's made a lot of good plays to improve, but he has turned the ball over a lot.
And remember, they just opened the roof to let the smoke clear. It is raining outside and now obviously inside the stadium as well. First run of the game, Larry Kroom, and Kroom picks up about 2 yards, and that'll be it. Justin Brown in there on the tackle.
Kurt, I think at the very beginning you mentioned some of the big names that have been over here. Guys like Kurt Warner and Jake Delhomme and Brad Johnson, and this has always been a quarterback-friendly league. I mean, Jared Allen was here, went to a little small school, Florida Atlantic University, coached by Howard Snellenberger, who built programs at Alabama, at Miami, at Louisville. He's gotten good instruction. He's getting his opportunity now, and he said his confidence level is soaring.
Looking for a big play on 3rd down, needing the Frankfurt 40. Allen rolling. And it's dropped by Chad Lucas, who was right at the 1st down marker, but he couldn't pull it in for the catch.
I think Jared Allen was actually looking for Skylar Fulton, and by the time he got all the way outside, Lucas was in his path. Another play-action pass here. Going to get flushed pretty quickly. That's a designed rollout there. Lucas gets in the way. Right behind him was Skylar Fulton coming back to the ball. Lucas with 8 touchdown catches this year. Fulton with 7. They were the 2 leading receivers in that category this year.
Glenn Pakulak, the Oakland Raider, punting it away. Brandon Middleton takes it on the hop. And Middleton brought down right across the 25-yard line. 37 on the punt by Pakulak, 9 on the return, and Jeff Otis steps up to the plate. The Arizona Cardinals started the first 5 games of the regular season for Frankfurt, but lost the starting job. But the guy that replaced him, Craig Oaks, injured in the season finale, and so now Otis is the starter here in World Bowl XIV. They like to run the ball. Roger Robinson picks up 3 yards on the first carry of the game, and this Frankfurt offense finished #1 statistically in all of NFL Europe this season. Also set the all-time rushing record at 175 yards a game. And that big offensive line, part of the big reason why, as is Roger Robinson. You've talked about the numbers that he has put up this year. All-time rushing leader in a single season in NFL Europe League history, and he did it in only 9 games, missing 1 with an injury. Robinson again. Cuts it back and gets it out just about a yard short of the 1st down. The Amsterdam Admirals defense, not a lot of big names except for Tony Brown, number 92. The Carolina Panther was named co-defensive player of the year in all of NFL Europe. Otherwise, it's kind of a mix of guys. They like to bring guys in, out, rotate them, and everybody gets an opportunity to play, and everybody gets an opportunity to contribute. Looking for a yard. Robinson won't get it. Caught in the backfield. Nick Hanna stops him before he can get back to the line of scrimmage.
Kurt running right behind the strength of this offensive line. The left tackle, Will Svitek. The left guard, Manny Aka, running right here, and they get blowed up right here. And you can see right here, you get penetration. Nice job by Earl Cochran coming in there, penetration, and a lot of orange jerseys to the football, anticipating where they were going to run on that third down.
Mike Barr from the Pittsburgh Steelers on to punt. Good kick by Barr. Craig Bragg takes it at the 15. Dancing around, won't get far before being stopped by Giselio Hansen. 52 yards on the punt by Barr. Well, one of the benefits of NFL Europe is we get players to wear microphones for us, and we get to listen in.
Here we go, here we go, here we go.
All right, we're going to change it up here.
Let's go, let's put this in now. Have the killer instinct. H-to-1 trips.
You gotta have them sucker ready.
Hey, way to keep it alive. You're the man.
And you get to hear it all. Wired for sound, players and coaches from both squads, including the head coaches, quarterbacks, and linebackers, and selected other players.
The last play, 26 is like...
Amsterdam takes over on first down. They hand it off. Larry Kroom spinning for a gain of 2 yards.
Let's go, let's go. Right, 7 counter pass, dig, go. On one, right?
Going to be a play action pass right here. 7 counter, going to fake it to his left and pull the ball out. Looking for Skylar Fulton to come across the formation.
Yeah.
Fulton in the slot. Up top, they fake it. Looking, and out of the backfield is Kroom. A good move after the catch, and he picks up the first down across the 35-yard line. 11 yards on the pickup.
Okay, what I see here, Kurt, early with Jared Allen is good movement. They're really moving him around right now. Play action pass right here, the 7 counter pass. Little fake to Larry Kroom, gets himself set. Kind of hard to sit down in a meeting with Jared Allen and not pull for him, not like him. I mean, he looks you in the eye, he's polite. The guy loves the game, won John Gruden's honor over there in Tampa Bay, and here he is getting an opportunity.
On first down, screen play, Kroom bouncing it outside, and he'll dive forward for a pickup of 5 yards on the play.
But I like the fact that you can open up the sound and listen to what these guys say. It's
Right trade, 4-zone Tony.
That's the play, 4-zone Tony. Coming from Bart Andrews there, the offense coordinator, head coach.
Called hard instead of YL, hard trade.
It's like football players have their own language. Coaches, players, then you have to try to interpret that language and learn a new one.
Handoff on second down. Kroom going just about nowhere. Maybe picks up a yard before Matt Sinclair made the stop.
Flush, flush, flush. All right, here we go. H left tray, land sliver trade option. H left tray, land sliver trade option.
Trade option on one, right? H left trade.
Sometimes you think it's a game of post office, Kurt. The coach calls a play. You want to hear it the quarterback. He split the play out just the way he heard it from the coach. Doesn't always happen that clean.
I didn't hear nearly as many words there. Looking for the 47. Allen in trouble again and sacked again. Ulrich Winkler, the German national, drops him for the loss.
Kurt, that play was for their leading receiver, Skylar Fulton, trying to get inside. Here he is here. He's trying to get inside. He never gets there. So he goes outside. By the time he gets inside, he's already been hit. The play took too long. Jared Allen, he's looking for him here. He's waiting for him to get inside. That's the trust factor. He never got there. And meanwhile, the protection broke down.
2 series, 2 sacks for this #1 ranked defense from Frankfurt. Glenn Pakelek gets that one off. And it's picked up again on the hop by Lenny Williams, and he's wrapped up almost immediately. Well, the Frankfurt defense showing why they are ranked #1 so far in World Bowl XIV. They say the defense wins championships, Baldy. So far here in World Bowl XIV, it's been the defense of Frankfurt that's made his presence felt.
Yeah, you know, these two teams have played twice this year, Kurt, and Amsterdam has won both games, so it's the same thing. You know, it's that old argument. Can you beat a team 3 times? But I think what Amsterdam is saying is a one-game championship. For Frankfurt, they're saying it's about time. You know, we've been close. You see the contrast in styles so far. 1 runs, 1 throws. You see where it goes.
Frankfurt takes over at the 33. Otis out of the backfield. J.R. Nicholas, the fullback. He's wrapped up immediately by Derek Ballard. During the regular season, you talked about the difference in approach to how they get there, and really the numbers kind of bear that out when you take a look at them. You can see that Frankfurt runs a lot more plays per game, but that's because they run the ball and move down the field more methodically.
Yeah, and you see this time of possession really plays into the team style. They're the leading defense in this league, and one of the reasons is they get the most rest each week during a game.
Yeah, they're on the field for the fewest plays of any team in NFL Europe. Second down for Otis. Going up top, looking for a Hozak, tipped away. Good defensive play by Abraham Elimimian of the Chicago Bears.
Good coverage right there. The Frankfurt Galaxy have got tall receivers, Kurt. Aaron Hozak right here is 6'5". They like to throw a lot of jump balls to him. Keith Willis, the tight end, is 6'5". Waller Young is 6'4". I mean, those corners at 5'9", they've got to play the ball in the air and not worry about the height of the receiver.
It didn't bother Elimimian on that play. Frankfurt on third down, looking for the 43. Otis zipping it out, caught by Brandon Middleton, and he gets out near midfield, good enough for the first down.
I tell you, Brandon Middleton was just picked up this week here from the Berlin Thunder for the World Bowl game. He's only been in town here for about a week. Watch him, he takes the bump right there from Justin Perkins, plays off the bump. Jeff Otis stays with him right there, gets good separation. That's a nice pass. Nice pass, right on the money right here. He's able to turn up, get a couple extra yards.
Middleton, playing with his third team this year, has bounced around but contributed just about everywhere he's been. 13 yards on the last play. Robinson stopped for the loss of a yard. Tony Brown in there on the tackle.
You know, Frankfurt doesn't want to have to throw the ball. Jeff Otis is coming back off an ankle injury. He missed a couple of weeks. He was hurt against the Rhine Fire 3 weeks ago, so he hasn't practiced. He's not sharp. But if they're going to load up the box, if they're going to continue to put 8 guys up there, Amsterdam that is, then you're going to have to throw the ball. You're going to have to win on the outside. And that's what they're doing right now. They're looking at the safeties and seeing where they're at.
And they're not giving Robinson a chance at all. That's his 5th carry and his first one that he's had any daylight, but it closes up pretty quickly. Atari Bigby stops him. Only 2 more on that run.
And Atari Bigby leads his team in tackles. He's one of those safeties, Kurt, that likes to play up in a box. He likes to play close to the line of scrimmage. There he is. He's going to cheat up right here. He's going to come up here at the snap of the ball. He's going to come up to make this play. See, he's unaccounted for. There's nobody to block him, and he's able to get that hit. So as long as he keeps cheating up, Kurt, then you're going to have to almost be forced to throw the football. There's nobody to account for him.
Robinson, 5 carries for 11 yards. Obviously, the focus is stopping 32. Looking for the 41. Out of the backfield, Robinson. A couple of moves later, he's going to be about 1.5 yards short of the first down. Abraham Elimimian with the tackle.
No, Kurt, when you're playing a team for the 3rd time, you get to know each other really, really well. They just played each other 2 weeks ago. So I think both teams are just feeling each other out right now. It's early in this boxing match, just kind of trading some punches.
Defense, 12 men. 5-yard penalty, replay, 3rd down.
Well, there was a flag on the play, and as you heard Jerome Boger call it, 12 men on the field for Amsterdam.
No, we didn't. We didn't have 3. We had 11. No.
You can hear Bart Andrews disagreeing.
Look at the replay.
But one thing about calling 12 men on the field, you know, every single official counts. Head counts every single play. 4 guys count the number of offensive players. 3 guys count the number of defensive players. So rarely, when they make that call, is it ever wrong, much to Bart's chagrin there.
Well, it works out for Frankfurt. They get another shot at it on 3rd down, needing only a couple of yards. The pitch out to Robinson. And he still doesn't get the first down. Heck of a play by Derek Ballard.
I tell you, that's an all-world league play right there by Derek Ballard, the weak side linebacker. He was voted to the all-world league team a couple of days ago. He's going to fly right here. He reads that play. They've seen it on tape. They've scouted it. And you can see where Roger Robinson goes. He goes sideways when he gets hit here.
Robinson has 6 carries for 13 yards so far. Brings Mike Barr back on the punt. And that one stopped inside the 5-yard line. At the 2. Good punt made by Barr. 2:34 left to go in the first quarter here in World Bowl 14. We are still scoreless. It's the championship game of NFL Europe, World Bowl 14, and so far, no score here in the first quarter as Amsterdam tries to defend its title against the Frankfurt Galaxy club that has won 3 World Bowl championships and is now making its 7th appearance in the NFL Europe League's title game. Amsterdam back deep in their own territory, starting at their own 2-yard line. Blitz coming. Picked up. And Larry Kroom just gets out of the end zone and slides his way for a pickup of 2.
Kurt, the toughest yards in a football game are the yards you get coming out of the end zone and going into the end zone. I mean, everybody anticipates you running the football right there. They're putting hats on the ball carrier.
Right,
it's hard to hear.
Cast, right land 23, cast 4. On 1, right?
Going to throw this ball right here, try to get it out of his hands quickly.
The play fake. He slips in the end zone and is brought down for the safety. Jerome Nichols, who led the regular season in sacks, gets his first today, and it's worth 2 points.
And that's the biggest sack that he's had this season. Maybe the biggest sack in his career. Jared Allen slipped in the end zone, and that's all it took. That's all it took for Jerome Nichols. Right here, they've opened up the roof. The grass is very wet right here, slick. Both feet lost both of them, and Jerome Nichols never stopped coming. That's all a defensive lineman wants, is for anybody to slip back there, because they're not slipping. They're just coming forward like that.
Nichols, a member of the Green Bay Packers, and just looking for an opportunity. He spent last year on the practice squad with the Washington Redskins, now has been signed by Green Bay, and looking forward to showing them what they can do on a team that really everybody has a new opportunity when you've got a new coaching staff.
Sure, I think he comes out of a program at Wake Forest. He goes to the Washington Redskins. He gets very well coached there by Greg Blash, the defensive line coach, Greg Williams, the defensive coordinator, and he learned a lot from those guys. And so he's trying to take what he's learned from those coaches. He said he's actually got a coach in his head right now. He said he knows when his hands aren't right, where they're supposed to be. He hopes to be able to take the techniques that he's learned and take them back to Green Bay this year. And he said, look, they've signed a lot of guys in Green Bay, which tells him, it tells us, they're not really sure what they have. They're signing a lot of players. Going to find Mike McCarthy, the new coach up there this season, trying to find the right mix of players.
Looking for guys and giving guys opportunity, and he has certainly taken advantage of his chances here in NFL Europe. Pakaluk with the free kick. Lenny Williams. He slips. I tell you what, I think some of these players are wishing their roof were closed, and I think they'd rather put up with the smoke and have solid footing, because that has been an issue certainly throughout this first quarter.
Well, they resodded the middle of the field right there, but with the rain coming down, everybody is slick. These fields are typically soccer fields over here, playing American football off them. Got brand new stadiums all throughout Germany getting ready for the World Cup that starts June 9th in this country.
And they have decided to close the roof to try and make things better. We'll see. Out of the backfield, Butchie Wallace, and once again, not far to run as Claude Harriott stops him for a loss of about 4.
In 1 week, past 16, Roger Hank in 1 week.
All right, pin, 1 week, past 16, Roger, Hank, on quick, ready.
All right, he's got a dig route, he's got an in route coming from one receiver, and he's got a Hank route from the other receiver. Two receivers set right here. Going to read it on his drop back.
Behind Hozak, incomplete.
No, Jeff Otis comes from a football family, Kurt. His father was Jim Otis of the Kansas City Chiefs and the St. Louis Cardinals. Played back in the 70s, played on a couple national championship teams at Ohio State. His brother was a walk-on at Ohio State. He said his best coach he ever had in football was his dad. And he's watching today back in St. Louis.
Well, he'd like to see his son pick up this third down, looking for the 42. With time. Over the middle, that one's behind Middleton, and he can't pull it in. Well, a couple of opportunities at it, and Otis was off the mark both times.
Yeah, you know what? I think Amsterdam likes what they're doing right now because they've taken the run away from him, and they're putting the ball into the hands of Jeff Otis. Here's Middleton in the slot right here, running an option route against Justin Perkins. Ball's thrown behind him, but a catchable ball still behind him, though.
So Mike Barr comes on to punt once again.
He just kept running.
High kick. Craig Bragg from the 26. Not much more before he is stopped. 45 yards on the punt by Barr, only 6 on the return. Well, there's been a feeling out process so far in this first quarter, and so far the Frankfurt defense has really done a good job of stopping Amsterdam more than anything else. They picked up 3 sacks in 3 series, including the sack for the safety on the last one.
You know, we talked to Jared Allen quite a bit, and he said he's been off to slow starts. He warms up as the game goes on, and he has. He's been off to a slow start here, as says both offenses.
Amsterdam beginning this drive at the 32. Allen under pressure again, gets away this time, and spots Skylar Fulton. Right near that first down marker, but good job of keeping the play alive by Allen.
I tell you what, he stayed alive, but Skylar Fulton always stays alive. The guy has the best hands in this league. Jared Allen, he's waiting for him to come across the formation. He has just enough athletic ability to get away right here. Really floated a nice soft pass here to Fulton, his favorite receiver. Waited for him to uncover, able to pick up the first down. Good throw on the run.
Into the first quarter. It's a football game in Europe, but a baseball score so far. 2-0. The Frankfurt Galaxy with the lead in the championship game of NFL Europe. World Bowl XIV here on NFL Network. Here in Düsseldorf, Germany, the Kunst Museum. Modern art, that's what they keep in there.
Yeah, well, I would think that it's a modern building, modern art in the modern building. You know, this Düsseldorf is the home of the Rhine Fire, and the Rhine Fire didn't make it. And so, but there's a lot of Rhine Fire fans here. They brought their drums, their uniforms, their whistles, and they've got a decision to make, who to root for. There is a huge rivalry between them and Frankfurt. Amsterdam is 2 hours away. Curious just what side they're on here today.
A lot of people don't want to root for Amsterdam because they're defending champions, but you can't root for your rival Frankfurt, can you? Allen gets that one off to Larry Kroom. Kroom picks up a couple of yards on the play. Well, for an update on the local flavor, we'll get it down to the sideline for a guy who's going to help us out today. You may have seen him if you watched the National Football League or NFL Europe. Patrick Vensky, formerly of the Rhine Fire and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Patrick.
Hey, what's happening, Baldy? 2 things you need for great football. You need beer and you need some noise, okay? Oh, whoa. There you go. They're hardcore Galaxy fans here, but the big question is, you get 20,000 Rhine Fire fans rooting for Amsterdam, I think, because they hate the Frankfurt Galaxy so much.
Well, they've got plenty to root for so far, but it hasn't quite worked out there, as you hear the German accent in both the yells and our sideline reporter today.
Think about it, Kurt. I mean, if you're a Cleveland Brown, can you cheer for the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Never.
You never could do that. So they're in a conundrum, I think, is what Patrick is talking about there today.
What does the German word for conundrum?
Ich bin ein
Conundrum. Try it. Second down for the Admirals. Kroom, who has been busy, picks up 3 yards on the run. Larry Kroom, that's his 5th carry. He's also got 4 catches in the ball game.
Well, Amsterdam doesn't get quite as much credit on their offensive line, but they've really developed throughout the season. They've had injuries. Atlas Harrion, their right guard, has really come on. He's playing with a broken left wrist. He's come back from injury. Michael King is a very athletic guard. There's Harrion with the wrist right there, learning how to play through injury.
That's part of this league. Learning how to tough it out. Looking for 3 yards. Jeremy Allen out of the backfield, and he gets absolutely nowhere. Travis Harris drops him for a loss.
Any coverage footage?
Not yet.
And once again, Frankfurt stops Amsterdam's offense.
That's Jerome Nichols right there, putting the pressure and then coming back, doubling back. You want to see the effort right here in a championship game. Travis Harris with the form tackle, and then Jerome Nichols coming to clean up. Jerome Nichols responsible for only points on the board today when he had a safety against Jared Allen.
That one goes over the head of Lenny Williams into the end zone. 51 yards on the punt. They'll net 31, and Frankfurt's offense will get a shot at it from the 20 when we come back. A look of puzzlement on the face of Amsterdam Admiral fans. They're wondering, where's that high-scoring offense? It's not here today, in part because of the big day so far by Frankfurt's defense.
3 sacks from Frankfurt here early in the second quarter, but Jared Allen, not much room to maneuver, to look around right now. And, of course, the biggest one, a safety. And that's where we're at. We're 2-0. I mean, look, championship football, guys come out, they play tight. You know, it's up to the offenses now to start making some adjustments.
Frankfurt sacked 3 times, and now they turn it over to their offense saying, hey, let's get something going. The defense has done its part, and they hope that Bryson Spinner, who comes in at quarterback, the San Francisco 49er, can get it going. He hands it off to Butchie Wallace, and Wallace picks up 5 yards on the run. And this is something that the Galaxy have done all season long, no matter who the starting quarterback is. In the second quarter, the number 2 quarterback that week gets an opportunity to play, and it's been a struggle for Spinner, who's only gotten an opportunity to play 4 times all season.
Well, Kurt, they've been rotating basically 3 quarterbacks throughout the season, so somebody had to get the short end of it. It's been Spinner, but the one thing Bryson Spinner has is he's a good athlete. He's a better athlete to notice, and he can do things with the football. He can pull it down and run with it. His biggest concern is just taking care of the football, not trying to do too much.
Off the play fake on 2nd and 5. Showing that athleticism, but he's chased down from behind. Claude Harriet stops him for a 1-yard gain.
Bryson Spinner is a story in this league, not that uncommon to a lot of guys in this league, Kurt. I mean, he started off at the University of Virginia. He was there with Al Groh and Bill Musgrave when they were there. But Matt Shaw beat him out, and he transferred to Richmond, where he got a chance to play a little bit. But he is a better athlete. He's got a good arm. He's 6'1". He's 235 pounds. I mean, he's like a lot of guys that have come through this league, like Quinn Gray in Jacksonville, who's got great athletic ability, just hasn't played that much.
Spinner dumps it off, and that's too far for Butchie Wallace. Accuracy a problem when you don't get an opportunity to play a lot, I guess.
Yeah, you just never get into that rhythm. And that one overthrown, and Wallace a chance to really do a lot with that ball if they could have made that connection.
So a 3 and out for Frankfurt. Barr on once again. Craig Bragg standing back inside his 35.
For Amsterdam has challenged Frankfurt's running game right now, and they have shut him down, and that's the difference right now.
Barr gets it off. Bragg, not much on the return. 45 on the punt by Barr, just 3 on the return.
We've been coming over here for 10 years covering this league, and it's like the ultimate reality show. I mean, these guys start off in Tampa with a 3-week training camp. Then 46 players make the team. They jump a plane, and a bad coach seat. They fly over 9 hours coming into Frankfurt, spread all over Europe. Then they live in a hotel amongst each other, like a frat house. 11, I mean, no privacy in that hotel. 11 weeks living on top of each other, going to eat meals with each other. But their objective is the World Bowl, and then their individual goal is to become an NFL winning American Idol.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you vote in that the other night?
63 million people voted in American Idol, Kurt.
Here's Larry Kroom dancing around and still on his feet. Kroom, good second effort, and he picks up 14 yards.
Well, Kurt, Taylor Hicks was the winning American Idol. These guys want to be as well known as Taylor Hicks, and here they are. Getting a chance to come off the ball right here. Kroom makes the first guy miss, now he makes a good cut. Keeping his feet underneath him. These guys are adjusting to a bad, wet field right now. Got to make your steps a little bit choppier. Learn how to become a mutter right here today.
Ball's out at the 46. Allen. Kroom. And he picks up 4 more on the run. Well, Larry Kroom really going to carry the workload for Amsterdam today. He's their leading rusher during the regular season, but usually splits time with Diamond Ferry of the Atlanta Falcons. And Ferry suffered an injury and illness, really, intestinal flu after the last game, and so now Kroom is basically left to his own to be their guy. They picked up Jermaine Allen from the Berlin Thunder just this week to at least have a backup, but Kroom will carry the bulk of the takes. Allen pulls it down and runs. And that's something he can do as he picks up the first down. Good running ability from a guy when you need it.
Kurt, we're talking about American Idol and reality TV and all that kind of stuff. I mean, Jared Allen, he got married. He got married in training camp. This trip over here has been his honeymoon. Wife is with him right now. He's pulling the ball down right here. It's a championship game. You go head first, Kurt. I mean, you know, you Pete Rose it right in there, get yourself a first down and move the sticks.
To the Frankfurt 43. Kroom. Cut it right back into traffic. He'll only pick up 3 yards on that run. You were talking about Jared Allen having his honeymoon here during NFL Europe. Does your wife like it if you honeymoon, work every day while you're on your honeymoon?
Hey, let me tell you something, Kurt. Some part of that marriage is paying the bills.
Okay.
It's kind of part of the arrangement that you have. And so if this helps pay some of the bills, you know, it's not a bad place to be.
Yeah, you can pay more of the bills if you use it as an opportunity to get back into the National Football League. Allen. Out of the backfield again. Kroom dancing and out across the 25-yard line. Another good pickup by Kroom, this time of 14 yards. There's a flag back in the backfield.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense, number 93. Half the distance to the goal line, first down.
And that's on Jerome Nichols, and so they will tack that on to the big run.
Kurt, these rules are no different here. Here's Jerome Nichols up at the top. Nice spin move right there. But yeah, I mean, they're going to protect the quarterbacks in this league. They're going to protect the quarterbacks in the NFL, in college. Not going to let them take those shots like that at the end. It's hard on the defensive line, especially when your momentum is going forward. But part of playing at the NFL is learning how to control your body and not get those unnecessary roughness calls.
After the penalty, ball's on the 12-yard line. Here's the blitz. Allen towards the end zone, too high for Chad Lucas, incomplete.
Kurt, we talk about reality TV. They're in training camp for 3 weeks, 46 guys coming together, didn't know each other. Watch the protection here of Amsterdam. I mean, Frankfurt's going to blitz both A gaps. Here they are. They're both coming up here. Both these guys, Travis Harris picked up real well, allowed Allen to have a nice view of Chad Lucas in the end zone there. Good protection, good blitz pickup. Good job by Bart Andrews coaching during the week.
4 receivers in for Amsterdam. Here's Kroom. Cutting it back. Kroom cuts it into the end zone for the touchdown. Larry Kroom has been the workhorse on offense so far for the Admirals, and this time he makes it pay in the score.
We saw a lot of good runs from Larry Kroom on that drive. A lot of it was him, and I think he's adjusted his running style on a wet turf. Gone to more of a choppy step right here, able to make some real good cuts wherever guys are slipping. Kroom has got his feet underneath him.
Ryan Killeen on for the extra point. And the Amsterdam Admirals, with their best offensive drive of the day, culminates in a touchdown run by Larry Kroom, and the Admirals are on top. If you want to know how it feels to take the lead in a championship game, feast your eyes on this.
Bart Andrews, last year's winning coach, championship, won his first one last year. Guy that has been to a championship game with the Tennessee Titans, was the quarterback coach for the Titans that year with Steve McNair. Lost that one on the final play to the St. Louis Rams.
And then won here last year on the final play. Hoping that he can breathe a little bit easier as this one goes along. His team up 7-2. And the kicker, Ryan Killeen, slips during the kickoff, but it still takes a good roll. Joselio Hansen picks it up inside the 10 and won't get far. Stopped at the 15-yard line by Brian Atkinson. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good.
Well, Ryan Killeen, who is USC's all-time leading scorer, probably didn't kick on a lot of fields in Southern California like this. To learn how to plant that foot. Best field goal kicker over here this year.
Yeah, he's had a really good season.
Yeah.
All NFL Europe League team as the kicker. Highest scorer in the league this year. Most consistent kicker in all the league. And a member of the Oakland Raiders. Brian Spinner still in at quarterback as the Galaxy begin at the 15-yard line. And he's forced to call a timeout.
Timeout, Frankfurt. This is their first charge
Now the
timeout.
Frankfurt Galaxy take a timeout. It gives us time to talk to one of our favorite people, a perennial All-Pro in the National Football League. And the guy was raised in Germany, now back to watch a little football with us. Defensive end of the New York Football Giants, Michael Strahan, joins us. How's it going, Michael?
I'm good. I wish they were called the Michael Strahan Giants, Kurt.
Hey, you keep signing those contracts like you are. They will be called the Strahan someday.
You know what? I very seriously doubt that. I'll remain a player. How about that?
Hey, Mike, take a look around, because I think you probably see some things in this stadium, in this atmosphere, you haven't seen in the NFL stadiums.
You know what? I've been in a lot of stadiums in my career, and this really is incredible. And the amazing thing is, when I grew up here, football was so small, no one really knew much about it. Now these fans know what's going on. They understand the game. They are louder than just about any stadium I've ever been in stateside. So, you know, it's a great atmosphere for the players, a great atmosphere for the fans. I'm glad to see that the league is expanding.
Well, when you take a look at it, you talk about the fans getting it, the players getting it. It seems as though the league has gotten it. You're a guy who is back in the NFL on Sundays. How often do you get a chance to run into guys that have played here in NFL Europe and see that they've gotten second opportunities because of it?
Well, a lot of the guys that are playing on both teams played with the Giants, were on the practice squads, or, you know, we're in our camps. And I think it's great to see that these guys have another opportunity to get better so that they can come back and hopefully play in the NFL. And a lot of guys are allocated from teams anyway, so at least they have a home base and hopefully have the opportunity to stick once we get back stateside.
Mike, you were a second-round pick in 1993 out of Southern, a small school.
Texas Southern, man.
Texas Southern.
We beat Southern.
See? But you come from a small school, Mike. I mean, you got an opportunity, but a lot of guys come from small schools, Mike. They weren't second-round picks. They weren't known. They weren't really highly recruited. Those guys need an opportunity, another platform, before they get a chance to play at the NFL.
Yeah, and this is the perfect platform. This league has really produced some really good players who are in the NFL now. So to say that this league doesn't work is wrong. This league works. I think players appreciate this next opportunity or this opportunity whenever they have a chance to have it. And, you know, guys are making the most of it. So it's encouraging for me to come over and see these guys try so hard. It's inspirational for me because I'm thinking I'm in the NFL and that's, you know, the cream of the crop. But I'll tell you right now, these guys are the inspiration because they make me realize how hard it was to get where I am and all the things that they're sacrificing right now to get back there.
Well, I know your back's to the field right now, so you couldn't see it, but Aaron Hossack just made a heck of a catch to stay in bounds for a 28-yard pickup.
Mike, we're showing the replay right now, but we can't let you go here, Mike, today without talking to you. The last time you were on a football field, the Giants were taking it at the hands of your old defensive coordinator, John Fox, and the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah.
I mean, how itchy are you to get back out there, Mike, and get this season started and really take over the NFC East?
Very, very, very anxious. Not just the NFC East. I think we want to take over the entire league and especially the NFC. So, you know, we're all excited. Last year we had a really good year. Didn't end the way we wanted it to end. Had a lot of injuries. This year, I think Ernie Accorsi and the staff did a great job of putting together and bringing in some really good guys who are really going to help us. And I think we have one of the most talented teams in the league. It's just a matter of us putting it together. And if we do that, hopefully you'll see the Giants in the Super Bowl. That's everybody's plan. All
right, Michael, go buy yourself some earplugs if you're going to stay down on the sideline there, because it's going to get louder as Amsterdam keeps marching.
The horns, man. The horns and the whistles. Either you'll love it or you'll go crazy.
All right, buddy. Well, we love it. And I'm sure you will, too. Thanks a lot, Michael.
Thank you, guys.
All right, Michael Strahan, defensive end of the New York Football Giants.
Kurt, they don't sell those whistles and horns at Giants Stadium. I've never seen them. But I think they could market those things well there.
I think they do a pretty good business. Here's Frankfurt. 3rd and short. Spinner. Hung in the pocket, gets it out to his tight end, Willis. And Keith Willis picks up 13 yards and a first down.
I'll tell you, this is a guy that I think is a great prospect in Keith Willis of the Seattle Seahawks. He's big. He can run. Here he is over here. He's going to come across the formation, Kurt. But he's a guy that can do things with the ball after the catch. He was a basketball player. You know, one of those guys that's kind of a hybrid. Like we see like Tony Gonzalez in this league right now. But he can block. He can run after the catch. He's got good hands. Excellent prospect in Seattle.
First down at the 30. Spinner.
He's got Willis.
Once again, but he's off the mark.
Kurt, watch Keith Willis here. I mean, watch this guy get down the field from the tight end position right here. Gets beyond him right here. Now he can run. Now he lengthens his stride a little bit. There he is open in that dead area in front of the safety behind the linebacker. But you can see Spinner got hit as he threw that football. Those are the kind of things, you know, like Bryce and Spinner right there showing. Man, if I don't get hit, we got a touchdown.
So it'll be second down. Roger Robinson, who has been quiet today, will be kept that way. Picks up maybe a yard.
Ace, ace, ace. 160 wide drive. 160 wide drive. 60 wide drive. Quick, ready.
All right, this is a two tight end formation here, Kurt. They're going to look for Keith Willis. The tight end lined up to the left. He's going to run the drive route. He's up here. He's going to drive right down here.
Leading the 20. Spinner hit as he throws, looking for Willis, and it's incomplete.
Not the right route to run on 3rd and 10, Kurt. I mean, you're not going to get enough depth. Now, here's Willis coming across the formation. Way too shallow on this route.
He's at the line of scrimmage the whole time.
Yeah. You're not getting any depth on that route.
26 back right up
And so the Galaxy will attempt a 48-yard field goal. David Kimball, the Oakland Raider, on to kick it. And it is off the mark, no good. And so the Galaxy put together their best offensive possession of the day, but this time wind up with no points.
Now, their problem really has been the inability to sustain offense here. Not just today, but really the last couple of weeks, Kurt. They've moved the ball, number one offense in football. They just haven't been able to finish the drive. So this one, you see Kimball gets enough distance here. The ball just starts to fade a little bit to the left. This league has been so good for kickers over the year as well, Kurt. I mean, so many guys that have been to the Pro Bowl, like Adam Vinatieri, David Akers, those guys, Lawrence Tynes, those guys have all been over here kicking on wet fields, kicking under pressure situations. It's really helped them as they've gone back to their teams with a lot of experience.
Amsterdam will take it over with good field position at the 38. Kroom going to lose a yard on that one. Antaj Hawthorne on the tackle. And as you take a look, you see the logos and the helmets and all the jerseys of these players. You'll see their NFL teams. That means that they are currently a member of that squad, already under contract. You take a look at Jared Allen. You see the Tampa Bay Buccaneer logo. He went to camp for the Bucs last year, and we'll go back to them after NFL Europe is done. Screenplay. Kroom lost the football, and Amsterdam recovered.
Good hustle.
We got that. We got that.
Well, there's a struggle going on down there. Marco Kavka, the tackle, initially recovered for Amsterdam. And the Admirals will keep it. Oh, now there's a discussion. They're still trying to settle this thing.
The ruling on the field is that the defender did not possess the ball and have an incomplete pass. This is also the 2-minute warning.
Okay, I think there's all kinds of confusion on that one. Nonetheless, Amsterdam will retain possession at the 2-minute warning, trying to add to a 7-2 lead here in the championship game of NFL Europe World Bowl XIV. All the Amsterdam Admirals holding on to it. There is no instant replay rule here, so it doesn't matter. Once the call is made on the field, it will stand.
Watch, this ball's going to come out of Kroom's hands. But watch Marco Kafka here, the right tackle. Watch this hustle. Championship game, you want to leave it all on the field. Ball's loose. Right tackle went diving for it. Tell you, that would catch my eyes. I'm watching tape here, watching Kafka go after that football.
A member of the New York Jets. Allen and the Admirals looking for the 48th. Flags on the play. Looks like it's going to be a false start. We'll get the call from Jerome Boger, our referee.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense, number 85. 5-yard penalty, third down.
Torrey Humphrey, the tight end, call. Well, coming up at halftime, we will send it back to our NFL Network studios in Los Angeles for NFL Total Access, the NFL USO Tour. Plus, we will be joined by Commissioner of the National Football League, Paul Tagliabue, for an intense chat. And we'll break down the first half for you. It's all coming up at halftime here on the NFL Network. Third down again. Allen has time. Can't find a receiver. And takes off, but it'll be far short of the first down.
There's just nowhere to go. I mean, they dropped 8 guys in the coverage right there. They only rushed 3. Jared Allen, he took a look at it here. They've got underneath coverage here. Then they have coverage behind that. I mean, every guy is run and just sandwiched here. No place for Allen to go. And with the lead right now, he doesn't want to do anything foolish with the football. So he tucks away, runs with it. Low athletic ability there, gets out of bounds, and going to turn it over to his punter.
Glenn Packlat, the leading punter in NFL Europe this season. Another Oakland Raider in this game.
Please reset the game clock to 1:52. 1:52.
The Raiders sent more players to NFL Europe than any other team this year. Probably a wise decision the way their record has gone the last couple of years.
We wish Art Shell the best of luck, leaving the NFL offices, going out there to the Bay Area, trying to revive that program. Yeah, a lot of teams that really struggled last year, the Green Bay Packers, the Detroit Lions, the Raiders, they all sent a lot of players over here this year.
Packlat gets it off a low kick, and Lenny Williams will watch it bounce right by him. Well, he gets the roll that Packlat wanted and ends up being a 50-yard punt. So Bryson Spinner, with 1:41 remaining on the clock and 2 timeouts, will go to work. Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. Here we go, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Let's go. X in 1:66, 8-4, 1, ready?
Start with 1 minute and 41 seconds to go. This is basically your basic 2-minute drill right here. Something all quarterbacks practice from almost the first day of training camp on, and they like this drill.
Starting at the 13. Over the middle, Brandon Middleton hangs on to it. 11 yards on the pickup and a first down.
One of the reasons why they like the drill is it gets simplified. The number of plays they use is simplified. And at the same time, it allows them to show their leadership ability.
Oh, they changed the ruling on the field and decided to call it an incomplete pass.
Let's take a look here. Brandon Middleton running just to end. I think that ball did slip out of his hands before Atari Bigby put the wood on him.
But did it touch the ground? Once again, there is no instant replay, so it doesn't matter. The call will stand. Robinson spinning, going nowhere. Claude Harriet again, and Roger Robinson has not been able to get going in this ball game at all.
The thing about Roger Robinson, though, Kurt, is he has tremendous endurance. He doesn't fatigue, and this guy's over here to compete. He'll come out in the second half, and they'll have a much better game plan to start that second half.
11 carries, 25 yards for Robinson, and it's 3rd and long. Spinner slips, flag goes down. And we'll see what the penalty is as Spinner is stopped.
Kurt, that play was made by Tony Brown, the co-MVP Defensive Player of the Year in this league, who got off on a great jump on that play. Forced a holding call by Frankfurt.
Well, the official's still trying to sort this one out.
Decline.
Holding. Offense, number 65, has been declined. The result of the play will be 4th down.
Watch Tony Brown get into the gap right here. Here he is. Watch him jump here. See, and there's the hold right there by Isaac Schnell. They declined the penalty here because it's going to be 4th down.
Amsterdam would like to get the ball back because they still have 3 timeouts.
Amsterdam. This is their first charge timeout.
And now they use 1.
Timeout.
So they want to stop the clock here. Mike Jones, head coach of the Frankfurt Galaxy, after the call. Not exactly happy with the officiating so far.
No, but you know what? It's the championship game, Kurt. So as a head coach, it falls on you, and you don't want anything to slip through the cracks. You want to be prepared. You want to leave here with this trophy today. You got to use everything you have, every trick you have to get things going your way. Want to see your head coach going to bat for you, trying to get the calls? Mike Jones needs to do here, Kurt. And this is a training ground for all coaches, too. A lot of coaches have been trained here. A lot of officials have been trained here to go to the NFL. What he has to start thinking about is what he's going to say to this group at halftime and what changes he needs to make in order to get the leading offense in this league ignited.
Mike Barr's punt. Taken by Craig Bragg at the 28. Bragg bouncing it outside, but runs into a collision. And he gets stopped by Keith Willis right at the 38-yard line. 39 seconds remaining and 2 timeouts to work with for Amsterdam.
Well, if you're Amsterdam, Kurt, you got 2 timeouts, you've got 39 seconds, and you got the league's best field goal kicker. So what you want to do is get in a position to be able to at least go for 3 points here.
Let's go left, land, cast, our delay.
Salim's long this year, 45, so they need to get it to about the 28-yard line.
That man, Skylar Fulton, led this league in receiving this year. It is Jared Allen's favorite target. He'll line up in the right slot, work the middle of the field.
Fulton only 2 catches for 21 yards, playing with that bad hamstring today. From the 37, flags down already.
Timeout, Frankfurt. This is their 2nd charge timeout. 30-second timeout.
So no flags on the play. Frankfurt able to squeeze in a timeout to stop the clock.
But so much of football today, Kurt, is just a chess match and matching personnel. And so I think Mike Jones wanted to make sure that he had the right matchup out there, the right defensive personnel against the 4 wide receiver set that Amsterdam put out there.
I know,
Hey, that's what the replay. I'm just looking at what they showed that. I know it's the naked eye. Yes. I know it's
still
the naked
upset.
eye. I can't blame that part of it. But
Go to Jared Allen.
it's outside.
He is still upset about the call on the last offensive possession by the Frankfurt Galaxy. And as you said, as the head coach, at some point you got to regain your focus to get ready for halftime. So the officials have been worked over, and Amsterdam will snap it again from the 37. Allen in trouble, They're sacked on the blitz by Matt Sinclair. 4th sack by this Frankfurt defense.
And they're not a big blitz team right now, Kirk, but I think listening to this hit is better than showing it right now.
Come on. There we go.
Yes!
Anybody thinks that they could go out there and just get underneath the center, take a snap, and throw the ball down the field, rethink it after that kind of a hit.
Draw play to Kroom, and Amsterdam seems content to start running the clock. Let it run out all the way to halftime. While the Frankfurt defense has been strong, they have scored the only points for the Galaxy on a safety. Amsterdam had one long drive today, and it was a Larry Kroom touchdown that has put them on top here at halftime of World Bowl XIV. 7-2. Amsterdam trying to defend its NFL Europe League championship, but there's still another half to go. Halftime in Düsseldorf. The Admirals on top. Coming up, NFL Total Access, an interview with Commissioner Paul Tagliabue as well, plus highlights and stats from the first half of World Bowl XIV. A touchdown and a safety and a lot of defense. That's what we have seen in the first half of this championship game here in NFL Europe. Halftime of World Bowl XIV, and the defending title holders, the Amsterdam Admirals, own a 7-2 lead. Well, a guy who is a big supporter of NFL Europe, the commissioner of the National Football League, Paul Tagliabue, is sitting by with our Brian Baldinger.
You still are the commissioner. The last time I checked, you still got the title right now?
That's as far as I know.
Listen, Commissioner, you started this, you had a vision of this league 15 years ago. Yeah, you're moving on to the next stage of your life. Do you feel like you're satisfied right now that the vision can continue to be carried on?
I think so. You know, I think that the global interest in sports and global competition and athletes moving around the world, competing in all different kinds of sports, just shows that the NFL has to be there, our form of football has to be there, and the NFL Europe League will be there for many, many years to come.
I know you're in demand everywhere you go right now, but have you given consideration to stay on in an advisory capacity?
Well, right now I'm giving consideration to how I wrap this up and pass the baton to someone else. And then, you know, we'll have those conversations in the future with the owners, and if there's anything I can do that would be constructive, I'll be glad to do it.
Everywhere I go, everybody talks about expansion. I mean, back in the States, but right here in NFL Europe, we got a foothold right now. We got 5 teams in Germany, the team in Amsterdam, 6 teams over here. Any thought to expanding to 8 teams?
Well, we've been discussing it with our NFL Europe Advisory Board. We've had some discussion with our owners, but right now, the thing I think we need to expand the most is the non-U.S. players over here. You know, we had a co-MVP on defense this year, Philippe Gardon, a French player. We have had players like Werner Hippler and others, German players. They're getting a little old. We need to really keep expanding that pool of European players and non-U.S. players. And then that'll lead, I think, inevitably to some expansion of the number of teams.
I know that you've always said, as far as finding that European player, when Boris Becker won Wimbledon, I mean, everybody played tennis in Germany. You think that's what it's going to take, that beacon of light, that one individual right there that can really spawn that type of interest?
I think it will. You know, we saw that with Valenzuela in baseball. We've seen it in every sport. And there are some current examples in the NBA. So at that highest level, it takes that. At a next level, it takes things like we're doing this summer with the Global Flag Football Championship here in Cologne, with 12 teams of kids coming from all over the world to play football here in Germany at the youth level. So it's not just one thing. It's like a good football team. You need a passing game, a running game, defense, and offense.
Commissioner, you're moving on to the next stage of your life. There's a committee in place right now to try to find your successor. Can you shed any light on where that is right now?
Well, we had a good report from the committee earlier this week in Denver, and now they're going to be moving on to the next phase of their process, identifying candidates and trying to bring it to a decision by mid-August.
Commissioner, the future. I mean, your wife, Chan, yourself, first time you've been able to take a breath, kind of see what else is out there right now. What's the future hold?
You know, I think it holds a lot. I feel like I'm a young person in good health, and but in terms of specifics, I don't know. I want to stay involved with sports. I want to stay involved with education, stay involved with business in some way, NFL in some way, but we'll worry about the specifics after we take some time off.
In the meantime, Commissioner, enjoy the second half. Thanks for the visit.
We will. Thank you.
Good.
All right, August 18th is the owner's target date to name a new commissioner. Whomever that turns out to be, some awfully large shoes to fill. Second half of World Bowl XIV comes your way right after this timeout here on the NFL Network. Amsterdam leads at 7-2 here at halftime of World Bowl XIV. The Frankfurt Galaxy came in with the #1 offense in NFL Europe, but they have 96 total yards and no points. The safety by the defense is it. So if you're the head coach, what do you say to that top-ranked offense at intermission?
Man, we gotta improve on that part. Offense, we gotta pick up the speed and tempo. We gotta pick it up. Second half, we gotta go claim it now. Gotta go claim it. Can't sit back and wait anymore. Gotta go claim it. If you want it, it's here waiting on you. What are you gonna do? Here we go.
Let's go, baby. Let's take it.
One reason only. Let's go get the job done.
30 minutes left for these guys to go win. 30 minutes left for these guys to go win a championship, and Mike Jones is right. The offense has not done their part in this game. The defense has been fine. It's time for the offensive line, I think, to go claim the line of scrimmage, get the running game going, and ignite this offense.
We will see if the Galaxy offense can live up to the challenge, and if Amsterdam's offense can get it going as well. They've had one lengthy drive, but it's been good enough so far because they own the lead halfway home to a championship. Well, the fans are still into it here in the first half, now that it's done and we're at halftime, but why not? Both teams still have a chance to take home the World Bowl trophy and be crowned champions of NFL Europe. Kirk Menefee along with Brian Baldinger. And the first half really dominated by defense, and that's a bit of a surprise when you come in with the #1 and #2 ranked offenses in NFL this year.
Yeah, but Kirk, you know, Amsterdam has beaten Frankfurt twice already this year, and so I think they have their number right here. We heard from Mike Jones. He said the offense has to pick it up, and they do. I thought he was a little nice about it. I thought he would have been a little bit more animated because they are the #1 ranked offense. And I think if I'm the offensive lineman and I've gotten this Roger Robinson over 1,000 yards rushing, I'm looking inside myself here. I'm looking inside myself saying, I better start coming off the football a little extra, picking up the tempo, getting in and out of the huddle, more plays. That's what got him here to the championship game.
Well, I tell you, if you take a look at this Frankfurt team, yes, they had the #1 offense, but they also have the #1 defense during the regular season, and they have absolutely no reason to hang their heads after the first half performance.
Absolutely not. They got on the board first. It was defense. You know, Amsterdam had bad field position. They were able to get a safety from Jerome Nichols for the first points of the game, and that really got things started. Then Larry Kroom came back with a 12-yard run, mostly on his own, as he was able to get into the end zone, and that's the only touchdown of this game. It's been defense, and that's fine. I mean, defense wins championships. You look at the time of possession is dead even. That's not a misprint. That's just the way it was. Very, very even right here, right now. There's a lot of football to be played, and I expect Frankfurt, who gets the ball to start this half, to really put a drive together to start the third quarter.
Well, Roger Robinson came in as the more heralded running back because he set the all-time single-season rushing record. But in this first half, it's been Larry Kroom who has been the go-to guy for the Amsterdam Admirals, and he has answered in addition to the 86 total yards. He has the game's only touchdown. Frankfurt will receive to start the second half. Ryan Killeen kicks it off for Amsterdam. That's Gisele Johansson. Good open field tackle made by Ryan Bowers. Coming out of nowhere, the Atlanta Falcon, who just came to the team this week from the Berlin Thunder.
Yeah, and I tell you what, a lot of these guys, Kurt, when they go back to the NFL, they better be able to do that. They better be able to play special teams with that kind of emotion, that kind of enthusiasm, because those are the kind of plays that catch a veteran's eye. They catch the coach's eye. Those are the plays you're looking for to start a third quarter. Let everybody know, you know what? We're in this game. We're going to bring home the bacon. We're bringing home the trophy.
Jeff Otis back in at quarterback for Frankfurt as they begin at the 22-yard line, and there's a flag already.
Ready to go on one?
False start. You can hear Otis saying we were supposed to go on one. Some confusion as to the snap count. Not the start Mike Jones wanted to see from his offense, which struggled with less than 100 yards in the first half.
But these fans are ready to go in this third quarter, I'll tell you that.
Otis. And that one's caught by Aaron Hozak. And Hozak out to the 29-yard line. His first catch of the day. 12 yards on the reception.
Look, Aaron Hozak is their leading receiver. He's 6'5", Kurt, got a big wingspan, and he uses all of it right here. He's got soft, buttery fingers, soft hands, and you got to get the ball up to him. He's a guy out here on the edge right now that can win right now.
Buttery fingers aren't usually a good thing, but it works to his favor. Roger Robinson through a hole. His biggest run of the day, and he gets out across midfield. This time Robinson takes it for 23 yards.
Kurt, Roger Robinson has had success in this league this year because he runs with his eyes. He's got great vision, and today, on this run right here, he makes the best cut he's made, right up the middle. Look at that hole. He sees it. Now he jukes the safety. Atari, there he is. Earl Cochran had a double back from his defensive end spot just to bring him down. Those are the kind of runs that Roger Robinson has made throughout the season.
He had 25 yards on 11 carries in the first half, 1 for 23 to start the second, and here's a cutback on his second run, but it's closed up as Abraham Elimimian gets in there on the tackle.
Kurt, most of Roger Robinson's big runs this season has been off of a cutback, where he really presses the hole. He takes it up as far as he can, and then boom, now he used his vision and his speed. But Amsterdam is ready for it here. They held their leverage right there. Elimimian right there from the cornerback position. Doesn't overrun it.
You see Robinson's numbers already more than he had the entire first half. Otis. That one's intercepted. And then taken away. Well, we had one official saying interception and then another, and they give it to Frankfurt. Aaron Hozak got in there and took that ball away from Abraham Elimimian.
Kurt, as long as you've been watching football, don't they always say the tie goes to the offense, goes to the receiver?
All right, here we go.
Elimimian jumped him. He played the route perfectly.
And the head coach, Mike Jones, coming out to try and add a little influence.
The ruling on the field is that we have a simultaneous catch by the offensive player and the defensive player, which results in a first down.
Well, if they do call it a simultaneous catch, it goes to the offense.
There it is. Elimimian does a great job of coming back to the ball. Now, really, when you look at the wrestling match was down on the ground. It looked to me like Elimimian had the ball here, Kurt.
I agree. Nonetheless, Frankfurt gets the reception, and they're now at the 38 of Amsterdam. Otis going up top for Hozak, tipped away. Elimimian in there on the coverage, no flags on the play.
Yeah, you know, and I tell you, there was a lot of contact there. They let him play on the outside, which I think they should. But Hozak is 6'5", Kurt. He has a huge advantage. About 7 inches on Elimimian. Got to throw that ball up higher than this. Hozak, good job of trying to get inside on him. He'll learn how to just use that body. Play a little low post basketball there.
The draw play. Robinson. He lost the football. And Keith Willis, the tight end, saved it. Boy, Frankfurt flirting with danger a couple of times on this drive, but still holding on.
Yeah, and that's just the one part about Roger Robinson that would scare me if I'm the Arizona Cardinals. He's fumbled the ball a lot this season. You see, he's even got both arms around the ball. The ball still gets knocked out. But making that hit there was Atari Bigby, a safety we've talked a lot about today. He led this team in tackles this year, and he put his hat on that ball.
Galaxy needing to cross the 28. That one batted away. Earl Cochran bits that big paw up there and knocks it down for an incompletion.
Hey, Kurt, if you can't get to the quarterback, get your hands up. It's a fundamental all defensive linemen are taught. Earl Cochran coming up in the middle right here. Can't get to the quarterback. Watch him time this. Gets the big paw up. Shuts that third down. And
so a punting situation as Mike Barr comes on again. High kick, but too much of it. Into the end zone for the touchback. The football in Germany going on not just inside the arena today, but a little flag football going on outside.
Kurt, I was watching some of it today. The first play by Germany was the double reverse. Next play was a throwback to the quarterback, throw for a touchdown. I mean, they pull out all the tricks in flag football. That was Germany against England earlier today. I think they got the championships over here in July. Thousands of kids learning the game, playing flag football before they get to this level.
Millions worldwide trying to spread the gospel. And here's Larry Kroom, who had a big first half. And Kroom goes over the 100 total yard mark for this game with a 15-yard run.
Kurt, he just looks like a guy that can run in these kind of conditions. A wet, muddy field. He's a guy that can just pick his feet up, put them down, you know, and just take yard after yard.
He's going at a different pace than everyone else.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't slipped on this turf. Some guys just can adjust to a bad field, a wet field.
You won't have to do that much in the NFL, at least not at home. Remember the San Diego Chargers. Not many rainy days in San Diego. Kroom again with a burst. Give him 6.
But what they're doing here is they're spreading Frankfurt out, going 4 wide receivers with 1 back, making everybody cover the wide receivers, which the best passing game in the league. And if they have only 5 guys there inside the box, Kurt, you know, around that nose guard and 2 tackles, then they're just running that draw. It's actually a check with me at the line of scrimmage, either a pass or a run. Right now, Allen's counting how many guys are there. They've got 5. They could very well run this.
They fake it. Under pressure. And it's too high for Skylar Fulton, incomplete. You see Allen trying to dry his hands off. And that ball slipped out.
It looks like he's been out there in the game, too. Been running for his life. Some of the party. What you see is some good athletic ability. He was talking to us yesterday, Kurt, about his time in Tampa last year, became good friends with Chris Sims, along with Luke McCown, some of the quarterbacks, taking some time off. He said that Sims had bought him a bungee jump in Orlando, Florida last year. He braved it, he jumped, survived it. Here he is, you know, trying to earn his stripes to get back to Tampa this fall.
Trying to jump right back in the National Football League. Incomplete for Chad Lucas. No flags on the play, as Lucas was covered tightly by Bill Alford.
Yeah, very good coverage on that play. Right now, Frankfurt trying to stop Larry Kroom is really putting their cornerbacks out there on an island one-on-one with the receivers, and that time, Alford really came up big.
So Lenny Williams standing back at his 25-yard line to take the kick from Glenn Pakalak. Neither offense able to get it going to start this second half. Pakalak nubs it. Williams had some room and it closed up. 9 yards on the return of the 35-yard punt. Oh, you're talking about the coverage in the secondary just a second ago. A guy who's been a part of a pretty good secondary for a number of years with the Philadelphia Eagles, and a Pro Bowler perennially himself joins us right now on the sidelines. Safety from the Eagles, Brian Dawkins. Welcome to Germany, Brian.
What's up? How you fellas doing?
All right, how are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
Your take on what's going on down there as far as the atmosphere here?
I'll tell you what, the first word you have to say is loud. This is a loud, loud place with all the noisemakers and the fans getting up at every second of this doggone game. I'm not talking about half the time. I'm talking about all the time.
Brian, I've watched you in the Philadelphia Eagle uniform for the last 10 years. I've never seen you this calm on a sideline in my life. I mean, this is unusual for you.
I tell you what, those guys are getting into it, and you can tell the fans know what they're doing and know when to cheer, so they know the game. But I tell you what, when you look at this game, when you look at the field position of the game because of the punters and what they're doing, I think that's why right now we have a 7-2 lead.
Doc, you look like a safety. You can't take your eyes off the field right now. You know, you're surveying everything like you normally would. Got to ask you, a lot of guys that have come through your defense, Brian, guys like Keith Adams, Roderick Hood, Nate Wayne, those guys have played over here, guys that have come up through the system, and they've been big contributors to your defense over the years. What have you seen from them, Brian, after they come back from Europe and they come back to training camp?
Well, it's just like anything else. When you have a time to play the game, you're able to play it more. You're able to get used to the things that are going on. They're just different situations. And also, it's a pressure situation coming over here because you know if you don't perform when you come over here, you're not going to be able to make a team somewhere. So when the guys come over, they know they have to perform. So that pressure, it gets them ready for the pressure that's going to be over when they get to the NFL.
Well, now, Brian, you know, your team last year coming off that Super Bowl appearance, a lot of people expecting big things from you. Obviously, the quote-unquote controversy involving Terrell Owens, a lot of people think that derailed your team. Do you think a quieter locker room will get the Eagles back on track this season?
A healthy locker room will get us back. A lot of people don't understand that we have injuries, and every team has injuries, but when you have injuries to the guys that we have injuries to, which I'm talking about Donovan, I'm talking about Westbrook, Trey Thomas, I'm talking about Todd Pinkston, those are guys that we always count on every game to make plays for us. So when you lose those type of guys off your offense and then you have to plug in, you know, newcomers and free agents into the offensive lineup, it's going to be hard to score points, and defensively we just made entirely too many mistakes. So we're just glad last year is over with. We can concentrate on football. Man, this is loud over here. It's getting me kind of hyped, too.
Hey, Doc, listen,
yes,
big third down here, but you've got to have the two-game circle against the Dallas Cowboys this year. I mean, legendary hits coming from you. I got to think that you've got one guy in particular you might want to put the wood to.
Baldy, you ought to know me by now. This is a good run here. Good run. I can't keep my eye on the field, my bad. But I tell you what, I'm an equal opportunity player when it comes to big hits. If I have an opportunity to deliver a big hit, I'm going to do that. So it doesn't matter who it is on the field, if it's 81 for Dallas or if it's 81 for the Giants or whoever the 81 is. If he's not on my team and I have a shot at him, I'm going to take it.
Well, a big 18-yard run there by Roger Robinson. The Frankfurt Galaxy are trying to get it going, and I know you have to get going, Brian. Are you going to hang out the rest of the game with Michael Strahan? I mean, he's a Giant. You're an Eagle. I don't know.
But you know what? There's a whole lot of respect. I have nothing but respect for that guy, what he's been able to do over his career. Every year. It's not like he's slowing down now. He's always in the game. He's always making big plays, and the team can always count on him. So I have nothing but respect. But I'm definitely going to stay around and watch the rest of this. It's a defensive ball game, Baldy. I got to stay here, man.
Some good hits out there, Doc. Enjoy it. Thanks for joining us.
Appreciate it.
Thanks a lot, Brian Dawkins, safety from the Philadelphia Eagles, and you know he has to like this hit from Derek Ballard on Robinson.
No question about it. The All-World League linebacker right here wraps him up right now. Now he gets some help. Now he gets help from the other orange jerseys right there.
Otis under pressure, won't get away. Jeremy Cardle was the first guy to get there. Claude Harriet, part of the posse that wrapped him up.
Jeff Otis has to shake that hit off, Kirk, because it's a key third down right now.
8-0, 69, switch on one, ready?
Harry, Jeff.
Gonna be a quick count here. Got a fast clock in Europe, only 35 seconds between plays. Take this in the first hut.
Otis looking, going for a Hozak. Incomplete, but there are flags from everywhere. Art Thomas on the coverage. Hozak had him beat. Thomas made up the difference, but apparently made contact as well.
That's it, baby. That's the shit. That's that shit right there. Good job, baby.
Pass interference, defense, number 31. The ball replaced with a spot illegal contact, automatic, first down.
Kirk, this is a good matchup here, Kirk. I mean, Art Thomas is 6'3", going up against a 6'5" receiver. Hozak gets behind him. He's beat him right here. That ball's got to be out in front of Hozak. Tell you what, to be honest with you, you are allowed to face guard, Kirk. There was no contact. That's pretty good coverage by Art Thomas jumping at the right time. That ball wasn't thrown correctly, though. They got to put that ball up for the receiver to go get it.
First and goal from the 5. Butchie Wallace fighting and getting into the end zone for the Frankfurt touchdown.
Run two backs from Frankfurt. Butchie Wallace is a change of pace back when Roger Robinson isn't in there. Guy that's very, very capable, runs with a lot of power right behind the strength of that offensive line, the left side, they're able to take that lead.
David Kimball's extra point puts the Galaxy back on top. Butchie and the boys getting the touchdown after the pass interference penalty. He set it up at the 5-yard line.
What's up, Mom? Trying to kick your name. I'll be home Monday night, baby. What's up, Uncle? What's up, Miss Princess? Jim from New Jersey. I told you. Townsend YMCA back in Baltimore. What's up, Miss Princess? I see you. Phyllis. Detroit, baby.
These guys have been gone for 12 weeks now. Over here, 3 weeks of training camp. They haven't seen their family. Huge sacrifices. Many guys haven't seen their wives, haven't seen their girlfriends, their mothers, their mother cooking. A lot of inconveniences over the last 3 months.
Fighting for an opportunity to make it back to the National Football League, and today, fighting for a championship. Here's Art Thomas. He's upended at the 31-yard line. Well, let's check out this touchdown run from Franklin Delano Wallace III, better known as Butchie.
Yeah, watch the left side over here. Really takes charge of the line of scrimmage. Willis at tight end, Svitek there at left tackle, really seals that corner for Butchie Wallace. Looking for an opportunity to get back into the league, Kurt. Been with the Minnesota Vikings the last 2 years, been injured, didn't make it out of training camp. Got himself a second opportunity over here this year, trying to get himself back on tape, back on film, and get another chance.
And runs like that will definitely help. Here's Allen off the play fake. Thrown too high for his tight end, Torrey Humphrey. You can see the difference a half makes. Frankfurt able to put up nearly twice as many yards rushing already in the second half as they did in the first.
Many of these guys are going to leave with friends that they're going to have for the rest of their life. I mean, anytime you win a championship, you bond with those guys and you never forget. It's something that you never take away. And so these guys are going to have a hard time saying goodbye to their newfound friends.
But they can't wait to get home at the same time. Here's Allen. Zips that one out. Skylar Fulton. And Fulton fights for a pickup of 8.
Kurt, this is an offense that's driven by the slot receiver. See Skylar Fulton here in the slot. He's a guy that has a chance to either go outside or inside, depending on where the defender is. It's called an option route. Quarterback has to kind of wait on him. He needs the protection to wait. But Fulton is a guy that knows how to get open. He's very strong. He knows how to use his body. But the offense all goes through him.
On 3rd and short, Allen rolling. Flags down. And that one's caught. Chad Lewis got enough yardage for the first down, but let's see what the penalty flag is for.
Holding, offense, number 74. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay, 3rd down.
And that one's going to come back. Clint Stickdor on the right tackle.
Kurt, you're going to take a look here. Right here, Daniel Benetka. He's the guy that's going to force it. Number 90 in your picture. Daniel Benetka is a guy from Germany. One of those players. There's 38 American players on the team. There's 8 national players, guys from different countries. One of the commissioner's dreams was to find a national player that could go become a star in the NFL, and they're getting close. Guys like Benetka have been in this league a few years.
Here's Allen on 3rd and long, lofts it up, and it's intercepted. Brandon Hall with a gimme pick. First turnover of the game, and it turns into excellent field position. And Hall, who led the NFL Europe League in interceptions this year with 5, gets another.
And they don't get any easier than that, Kurt.
No.
Now he was just sitting back in center field. He's just making a Willie Mays basket catch here. Here's Hall here. He's just going to backpedal. He's got his eyes on him the whole way. Jared Allen did get pulled down at the very end of that play, and it affected the throw. That's the 6th interception for Brandon Hall this season.
All in the last 4 weeks.
Boom, boom. Shoot that one right out of the air. An ugly-looking duck.
Frankfurt takes it over at the 29-yard line. Roger Robinson. Second effort. And Robinson will pick up 16 yards.
But I said in the first half, this guy has tremendous endurance. Doesn't get tired. Watch his legs on this run. Brandon Hall catching his breath. Roger Robinson ran right through a tackle, never let the legs stop. Watch this here, watch the legs. There's the contact, he never stopped moving, kept going. A lot of strength in that 200 pounds of running back from Roger Robinson.
First down from the 14, Robinson again. And he dances back up to about the 11-yard line. Well, Robinson's a guy who was with the Arizona Cardinals last year. Said he was really like the 9th running back, didn't get much opportunity, but now going to get another shot.
Yeah, and he's running right behind that man, Manny Aka, who's a national player, a guy that was born in Nigeria, raised in London, lives in Staten Island, lost his accent, went to school at Winston-Salem State. He's a guy that's trying to make it to the NFL. He's got tremendous size and strength and balance. Just got to become more consistent.
Otis going for the end zone for Hozak. Contact, but no flags this time on Art Thomas.
A little bit of incidental contact there in the end zone, but it was good protection that time, especially from that big man Aka, who bench presses over 600 pounds. Watch the shot he gives right here. Boom. That was the defensive MVP in this league, Tony Brown, that he just knocked to the other defensive tackle box. Good strength in those big arms.
Otis fired into the end zone and is broken up by Jeremy Kane and falls incomplete.
Trying to get the ball to Sean McHugh, the tight end from the Detroit Lions, who's a big target. Two good tight ends on this team, both a good chance to really stick on their respective teams this coming fall.
And so David Kimball will come on to attempt a field goal. He's already missed from 48 yards today, this one from 29 yards out. And it's good. And so the Frankfurt Galaxy turning the turnover into points, extending the lead to 5. 12-7 here late in the third quarter of World Bowl XIV. No matter where you are in the world, you can keep up on the happenings in NFL Europe simply by logging on to NFLEurope.com. It's got all the latest news, stats, and basically anything and everything you ever wanted to know about NFL Europe.
Cheaper communication too, Kirk. Just get on the web.
Cheaper?
Yeah, cheaper.
As opposed to a long-distance call?
Exactly.
Well, you get those cell phone plans now. You can get deals done, right?
Kurt, I made a 3-minute phone call, and I didn't have one of those cell phone plans. $92 later. Out $92 into that call. I got to get on the web.
Yeah, I got to get you a plan.
Yeah.
I got people you can talk
help
to or something.
Yeah, financial help.
Here's David Kimball kicking it off. An exciting return man, Noriaki Kinoshita, the leading kick returner in the league, but he won't get anywhere this time. He is stopped before he could get going by James Taylor. Well, the Frankfurt Galaxy have scored all the points in the second half of this year's World Bowl. Last year, the Amsterdam Admirals were able to get it going early. They took a 7-0 lead, actually wound up going up as much as 24-7 against Berlin before Dave Ragone led the Thunder to a comeback on a game that went down to the very last play that was tipped in the end zone. And in the end, Amsterdam held on to win at 27-21 to capture its first World Bowl trophy. They're trying to make it 2 in a row, but they're going to have to come back in order to do it here late in the third quarter. Allen, his arm was hit as he threw that one, and it falls incomplete.
In fact, the last 2 World Bowls that we've covered, they've come right down to the final drive. That one last year to the final play where that ball was tipped in the end zone, just suspended in the air. Who was going to catch it? All fighting for the big trophy.
How big is the trophy?
That trophy right there is 41 pounds, Kurt. I mean, it doesn't look that big, but it's solid crystal. And so it's got some weight to it. That's been sitting in the lobby of the Amsterdam Admirals, their home office all season, and they'd like to keep it there.
The play did not get off before the quarter ended. And so the Amsterdam Admirals, defending champions here in NFL Europe, will go into the fourth quarter of World Bowl XIV, down to the Frankfurt Galaxy. The Galaxy with 10 points in the third quarter, and they lead it going into the final stanza, 12-7. One more quarter to play for the championship.
NFL Europe was great. We were able to go over and play, and I think as a quarterback, that's the most important thing is getting playing time. And some guys look at it as a blow to your ego to get sent over there, but I looked at, I'm going to get better.
Jake Delhomme, one of the best products ever to come out of NFL Europe, and he was in a little better shape than that when he played here. But he came over twice, played for the Amsterdam Admirals with Kurt Warner in 1998, and then for the Frankfurt Galaxy in 1999, going on to win a World Bowl before taking part in the Super Bowl with the Carolina Panthers. Here's Jared Allen. He gets out of bounds. There's penalty markers on the play as well.
Yeah, late hit out of bounds, tacked onto it. Could cancel each other out here. Yeah, Jake Delhomme came over twice, Kurt. Backed up Kurt Warner in 98. Played with Amsterdam, came back the next year, didn't feel like he got enough snaps. Came back split time with Pat Barnes and won a championship for the Galaxy in 99 and has never looked back.
There was a double foul on the play. Holding, offense, number 73. Personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Roughness, number 93, defense. Those fouls offset, replay, second down.
Well, the holding was on Jeff Rail, and here's a look at the shot on the sideline.
Shot from behind.
Elliott Harris. I think the camera guy is the one that got the shot.
A personal foul against a whole lot of people on that sideline.
Looking for multiple flags.
That's a championship game, Kurt. Everybody wants to be there. Everybody's shooting cameras. You know, these pictures going all over the world. It's being broadcast in all different countries today, live. Allen,
underneath, broken up. Good job done by Rob Lee to knock that one away from Craig Bragg.
Saw the photographers over there, Kurt. You know, this thing is being televised around the world to different places, much like the Super Bowl. You know, a lot of different places right here. It's just a huge interest in America's passion, which is American football. Everybody wants to be a part of it. You got flag football championships being played, spreading the seeds of American football around the world.
They say 150 million viewers in 120 countries will watch today's game.
A lot of pressure on Jared Allen.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Third down here, huh?
He escapes the pressure in the pocket and goes not too far before Jared Newberry, the Tennessee Titan, drops him after a short pickup of about 3, but more importantly, will force Amsterdam to punt.
Well, they're forcing him in a passing situation, so they're just dropping back in a zone. So when you're in a zone, Kurt, as a defender, you keep your eyes on the quarterback the whole way. Watch these guys' eyes as they drop. They're not taking them off the quarterback. So now he starts to run. All they do is they come up. Now it's a race to see who can get the best hit on the quarterback.
And so another punt for Glenn Pakalak. Gets it off. Good kick. Lenny Williams keeps on backpedaling. Grabs it inside the 15-yard line. And a couple of moves later is stopped after a return of about 4 on a 63-yard punt from Pakalak. Well, a good crowd on hand for World Bowl XIV. More than 36,000 here in Düsseldorf to watch NFL Europe crown a champion.
And how many of those fans are Rhein-Fire fans that watch their team in this stadium this year not get to a championship game and trying to figure out who to cheer for here? It's just been loud all day. It's hard to get a grasp. And I know the people just enjoying being in a championship atmosphere, being a part of it. The electricity that's just in there right now, I think everybody can feel it.
It has been a good atmosphere for this one today and a close game throughout. As Jeff Otis takes over at the 19. There's Butchie Wallace. He keeps on chugging for a pickup of 4. Well, this is World Bowl XIV. You have to go back to 1991 for the first World Bowl, Wembley Stadium. And boy, were there some outfits in attendance at that one. Not just the people in the stands, but the players on the field as the London Monarchs blew out the Barcelona Dragons 21-0. Stan Gelbaugh, the MVP in the inaugural World Bowl game. And here we are 14 times later. Amsterdam trying to repeat. Frankfurt trying to hold on and get the win, which would be the franchise's 4th in 7 World Bowl tries. Butchie Wallace gets the short pickup.
You know, and the head coach, Mike Jones, has been a part of a lot of World Bowls. I mean, he was the coach of the Rhein-Fire when they came to this league. Won it a couple of years ago with Frankfurt. Been here on this stage, knows how big this is and understands what this means to these players. Not just for a championship, but understands the development and the need to get out here and play in this type of atmosphere and get used to it.
And get fans like that involved in it as well.
That's the first down. See, they got the first down marker already.
Wallace. Butchie Wallace, second effort. And out across midfield to the 46-yard line of Amsterdam, but Wallace comes in and picks up 25 yards.
Finally running behind the right side of the offensive line. Coming right behind here. Jason McGee's right there, along with Rob Draghi, the right tackle. You see that Butchie Wallace has some power, carrying a couple guys on his back.
Out of Marshall. Missed the first 4 weeks of the season here with a thigh injury, but has really come on in the second half of the season, spelling Roger Robinson, who doesn't need a whole lot to pick up 8 yards.
Hey, Kurt, running football teams wear teams down. We showed a graphic earlier today of how Frankfurt wins the time of possession battle in their games. They're winning it here today. They're winning it in the second half. And when you run the football consistently, you start wearing down defenses. They start to fatigue. They start changing players. Roger Robinson comes out, limping off, and I would think he'll be back. Talking to J.J. Smith, his running back coach there.
Not a bad 1-2 punch. He goes out. Wallace comes in, and here's Wallace's 10th carry. And Wallace is going to be close to that first down marker. We'll see that we spot it. Jeremy Caudle on the tackle. See the training staff going to take a look at Roger Robinson.
Roger Robinson carried the ball 214 times in a regular season in 9 games. That's over 25 carries a game. I was wondering how he felt. He said he felt fine, as fresh as can be coming into this championship game, but a little nicked up here in this game, but I think he'll be back.
Just a couple of inches short was Wallace. And Frankfurt calls the timeout.
Get on the ball! Get on the ball!
Timeout, Frankfurt. This is their first charge timeout. It would be a 30-second timeout.
Timeout on the field. Just over 10 minutes left. Who will be champions of NFL Europe? We will find out as the fourth quarter continues after this.
All right? You ain't got to go nowhere because the quarterback sneak. All right? Don't see that.
One? You want one?
Hey, we're going wide.
Well, there's a little insight through the microphones of NFL Europe. Mike Jones, head coach of the Frankfurt Galaxy, saying you don't have to throw it anywhere because it's going to be a quarterback sneak. Will they stay with that call?
Safe call. It's a good offensive line. I'd run it right behind Manny Aka, the left guard. Biggest guy down there on the field right now.
Well, why not? He says he's down to 340, so if you're that big, it should be a case of follow the leader. They go quarterback sneak, and they pick up the first down easily.
Good surge. Good surge right there in the middle.
They up close. I understand that. Here we go, Bill. Let's go forward. Y-N-1. 16 force.
Y-N-1. 16 force on one ready. 16 force. Here we go. Repair. Set.
First down from the 34. Butchie Wallace getting outside but can't get around the corner to give him 5 yards on the run.
That was a 16 force, Kurt. I mean, they only have 3 or 4 running plays. They just try to perfect it. Watch this. All he's doing is running his daylight here. He's just going to bounce this thing here behind Rob Draghi, the right tackle. Gets a good hook out there in the end. He's going to stay with his right tackle. Rob Draghi is a guy that has improved tremendously from the first week here into the championship game.
Wallace going to the left side, fighting, and gains 2 yards on the play.
That Rob Draghi, the right tackle, is up to about 315 pounds. There's only 250 pounds his senior year of high school. He was a state wrestling champion in Missouri. He's with the Baltimore Ravens right now. You can see it on his shirt.
You good? You ready to get it, baby?
In Baltimore, I mean, Ray Lewis was a 2-time state wrestling champion in Florida. There's something about wrestlers. They know how to They know how to bend their knees. They know how to get underneath guys. They understand leverage, and they're very good with their hands, and so is Draghi.
Says he thinks it helped him become a better football player in high school. Wallace on 3rd down. And he will be stopped about a yard short of the first. Carl Johan Bjork with the tackle.
Now I saw the other tackle, Will Svitek, just yell to the coaches saying, let's go for it. And that's what all linemen think. You got less than a yard to go, then just go for it. Look at him. He's like, let's go for it. Come on, it's 4th down, so what? Run behind me. There's Svitek coming right at you. And your picture right here does a good job against Earl Cochran, widens him a little bit.
And they will go for it. They need a long one, almost 2 full yards. Wallace bobbled it, got possession, and fought his way for the first down.
Kurt ran right behind Rob Draghi over there at the right tackle position. He did a good job of moving his man off the line of scrimmage. Watch Draghi here. Look at that hole. And Wallace should stay closer to his tackle. He wouldn't get hit so hard. He'll learn that.
Wallace is coming to the game with 77 yards rushing in release of Robinson, who's got 96. So this running game for Frankfurt, which was slow getting going in the first half, has cranked it up here in the second. Penalty markers on the play.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense, number 75. 5-yard penalty, first down.
That's on Svitek, the left tackle.
Curtis Murder in here. I mean, everybody's got a whistle, a horn. There's so much noise inside there. Both Brian Dawkins and Michael Strahan has commented how loud it is down there. In this league, we're competing against these noisemakers out there. You really can't trust what you think the quarterback is saying. You're better off looking at the football.
Noise all around. Here's Wallace. And he's caught from behind by Tony Brown and falls forward for about 2 yards on the play.
Hey, Curtis, it's over halfway through the 4th quarter. The uniforms are getting dirty right now. You got a championship hanging in the balance. Nobody's thinking about being homesick or anything. These fans are hanging on the railing right here. They got a little dance going. The players are thinking about, okay, 6 minutes to go in this game, protecting a lead. Really what Frankfurt wants to do is put it on the offensive line. What I think is the best in this league, trying to just melt this clock and bring it home.
2nd and long for the Galaxy. Wallace again. Bouncing off tacklers and picking up 3 yards. And I'll tell you what, the Frankfurt Galaxy aren't even pretending like they're going to throw the ball here on this drive.
You want to run it or throw it? We'll run it. What you got? 1-16 force. 1-16 force.
Kurt, they're going right behind Rob Draghi.
Maybe on 2, okay? 1-16 force. On quick, ready. Yeah, quick, Sunday.
Play clock is winding down to 5 seconds now.
Sunday is first down.
Got it off. The fullback, J.R. Nicholas. Nicholas will pick up about 6 yards on the run. And another 4th down here, and I don't think they'll go for this one.
No, they got the field goal kicker coming on the field right here, David Kimball. Going to try and make this a one-score game. Try to take it from 12-7 to 15-7, make Amsterdam drive the field, and then convert a 2-point conversion just to tie the game.
Kimball has made one from 29, missed one from 48, missed more kicks than any other kicker in the league this year, trying from 37 out. And he got it. And so the lead is now 8 points, but it's still a one-score game as there's 4.5 minutes left to play for the championship of NFL Europe, still nip and tuck. Amsterdam in the Netherlands has been home to the World Bowl trophy for the last year. Home of the Amsterdam Admirals, but will they get to take it back again this season? After today's game, they are down by 8 points right now, heading into the final 4.5 minutes. And if you've ever been to Amsterdam, you know that that is the Rijksmuseum, one of the great museums in the world. And Amsterdam's one of the great cities in the world.
With a lot of great fans, Kurt. I mean, it's about a 2-hour drive to come down here. I don't think any of them made it by bicycle. I think either they got on a train.
That's about the only place they don't go on bicycles, man.
You could drive from Amsterdam to Rotterdam all on a bike path. And they have the right of way everywhere they go.
They're hoping that the Admirals can get on it here as Kinoshita takes it at the 2-yard line. Out across the 25. Amsterdam will try and get the comeback going, and they like to throw the ball. Frankfurt, as we said before, likes to run it. Neither team really got what they wanted done in the first half, but in this second half, Frankfurt has really been able to get it going on the ground.
Well, 155 yards in the second half. I said that they had to come out and establish the line of scrimmage during halftime, and the offensive line has done that. I mean, slow first half, but really a completely different team in the second half.
And now it's up to Jared Allen and the Admirals to answer. Allen going up for Fulton, and Fulton goes up and gets it. Skylar Fulton, the leading receiver in NFL Europe this season, a member of the Seattle Seahawks, with a big catch on first down of 11 yards.
Well, he's Sky. I mean, it's a perfect name for what he just did. Went up, got it at the highest point. Watch him take this ball out of the air. He was the aggressor right here. Went up, got it at the highest point, and then was able to get it into his possession before he hit the ground.
Ball's on the 37. Draw play, Kroom. And Larry Kroom keeps on going into the open field and tripped up from behind by Rob Lee, who may have saved a touchdown. 15 yards, though, on the run by Kroom.
Kroom has not disappointed today. He's been a big part of this offense, over 100 yards of total offense right here. Runs right into his right tackle, Clinton Stickthorne there. Bounces off him. Really saving tackle right there by Lee.
Just got a piece of it, but that was enough. Ball, though, in Frankfurt territory at the 47-yard line. Allen has time. Looking for Lucas. And Chad Lucas makes the catch inside the 25, and that aerial attack of Amsterdam is getting going as well. 22 yards on that one.
He's getting protection, Kurt. Everything is play action pass right now. Watch the fake here to Kroom. Play action, he gets good protection. Look at the clearance he has. The distance he has between the rush. Able to see the field, scan the field very well right there. Finally get Lucas involved. The guy that's coming back off of a bad heel, Kurt. Fighting an injury, didn't practice this week, but makes a big catch on a great throw. Tight spiral down the field.
First down at the 25. Pressure. And Allen is sacked. And it's a big one, a loss of 15 on the play. And there's an injured Admiral down as well. The right guard, Michael King, is yet to get up.
Michael King, who's probably their best athlete up front of that offensive line. Really, that time, Frankfurt did not pay any attention to the play-action fake. They just kept coming.
King was playing this game already with a sore shoulder.
Watch Hawthorne Moore. Hawthorne just keeps coming, number 77. Josh Cooper able to get, and Jerome Nichols, a guy that we've talked a lot about today, both of them meeting Jared Allen at the line, at the quarterback.
It was hard to tell what happened to King, but as we said, he had a sore left shoulder coming into this game. May have aggravated it somehow on that play. But the training staff still working on him, and Amsterdam still trying to find a way to work back into this game. They're down by 8 points with just 2.5 minutes left to go here in regulation for the championship game of NFL Europe. Both these teams came in. The number 1 ranked offense for Frankfurt, the number 2 ranked offense for Amsterdam. Amsterdam, the highest scoring offense in NFL Europe, but it's basically been a defensive struggle up until this last couple of minutes.
We see the sacks tonight. 5 from Frankfurt, who had the fewest coming in to today. That says that the defensive line has revved it up quite a bit. They've been able to beat the one-on-one protection. And Amsterdam fans used to standing, watching soccer back in the Netherlands, using to keep that clap going. Trying to keep a pulse going for this team who's down 8 with less than 2.5 minutes to go.
I guess we shouldn't be surprised that it's a one-score game going into the final minutes.
No.
That's the way it's been in NFL Europe this season. 30 regular season games, 19 of them, so more than half, came down to one score or less.
Kurt, they're fighting for the World Bowl trophy. There's a couple dimensions on it. Got anything crystal at your house, Kurt, that weighs 41 pounds?
Crystal Light.
Crystal Light, yeah, that's it.
That's about, and it's not working either, so that's about all I've got.
I'm telling
on the
you, know, like after the game when they pick that trophy up and they want to cart it around the field, Kurt, you better have two hands on it. You put one hand on that thing, you may drop it.
You'll miss a couple of games.
Yeah.
Well, it's been a good season for both these teams and NFL Europe. The Amsterdam Admirals trying to make it back-to-back World Bowl titles. The Frankfurt Galaxy, well, they've been to the World Bowl 7 times. This the 7th. They've won half of their previous 6 meetings. Going back to 1995, the first time they played, it was against Amsterdam. Paul Justin and Bobby Olive hooked up to help lead the Galaxy to the victory. And then in '99, Andy McCullough had 2 touchdown catches as the Galaxy beat the Barcelona Dragons. And then in 2003, their most recent victory, Robert Gillespie with a big run, and the Frankfurt Galaxy with a big win over the Rhine Fire, 35-16 was the final. I guess the good omen, if you want one, for the head coach today, Mike Jones, is that the last 4 years, whoever was named Coach of the Year in NFL Europe before the World Bowl wound up winning the World Bowl. Mike Jones, on yesterday, was named Coach of the Year here in NFL Europe.
Well, I guess he thinks that because he did that, he automatically should be able to bring home the trophy.
Well, they've got an 8-point lead with 2.5 left.
Yeah, I mean, you got to feel good about it, but really, this is unfortunate right here. I mean, Mike King right down to the final 2.5 minutes. He has started all 11 games for the Admirals this season. A guy that has a great upside, a lot of athletic ability. This is part of the sacrifice, Kurt, coming over here to play in this league. You know full well, anytime you play and you strap it on, you can get hurt, and you have to overcome those kind of things.
King, a member of the New York Jets.
Yeah, New York Jets, who spent their first and second round draft picks on offensive linemen trying to rebuild a line that lost Jason Fabini to free agency, now with the Dallas Cowboys.
Kevin Mawai went down to the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah.
We'll take another look at this and see if we can try and figure out what might be the cause of his injury.
Yeah, it looks like he just really hard to tell, Kurt. I mean, I've been down there in the pile before, and just about anything can trigger something. It could have just been, pinching a nerve in his neck, lost the feeling in his hands there.
You can see they're taking off the face mask with the drill, which means they're going to try and get him on that stretcher without doing too much movement to his head. And usually that's a precautionary thing as much as anything else. And you don't want to speculate, but you certainly hope that's the case here.
Here's his offensive line coach, Ron Heller, right here, a guy that said that he wanted to say his goodbyes to his players early in the week because he thought he was going to be too emotional when this season ended to say goodbye to him.
Ron Heller, longtime NFL player with the Philadelphia Eagles, Miami Dolphins, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 12 years in the National Football League.
I was a teammate of Ron in Philadelphia. He's from Farmingdale, Long Island, went to Penn State, one of Joe Pa's guys, and a guy that just loves the game.
Well, while they attend to Michael King, the entire Amsterdam Admiral team has come out there to show him their admiration as we take a brief timeout. Well, with his teammates literally feet away, Michael King is now on the stretcher, and the good news is we have seen him move his legs, and so that's usually a pretty good sign, and hopefully this is all just precautionary.
Michael King actually has his own record company, Kurt, called 316 Records. Very religious guy. Named his record company after a famous psalm from the Bible, and really a complete look of solidarity from their team in support of him right now. And really, it's not about the championship right now to the Amsterdam Admirals. It's about really feeling the pain of one of their teammates right here, showing just the the team chemistry that gets built in a very short period of time.
Well, you've been in this situation as a player. You've had a teammate injured. It causes a pause in the game. Yet once you go back out on the field, you have to play right away.
Yeah, you do. I mean, it's part of it. It's just the nature of the game. But at the same time, you can say your private prayers for Mike King. You see that he's moved his hands, which is a good sign. I think everything right here is precautionary at this point. We'll get him straight to a hospital. They're taping his head in the solidarity from the fans from both sides, Frankfurt and Amsterdam right here.
A number of Frankfurt players out on the field as well. Wanted to make sure that they understand, meaning the Admirals, just how much they care as well.
Kurt, nobody ever wants to see anybody get hurt, especially seriously hurt on the field of play. There is a code amongst players, and it's about sportsmanship first when it comes to things like this.
You can see the coaches trying to get some of the Amsterdam players to move back, but the Frankfurt Galaxy players applauding as well.
Here's Rob Draghi, an offensive lineman from Frankfurt. There's a fraternity amongst all offensive linemen. You know, you kind of have a heavy heart for one of your guys on the other team when they do get hurt. These players are already making tremendous sacrifices coming over here, living in a foreign country, dealing with language barriers, dealing with some inconveniences. But at a moment like this, nobody thinks about any of that. All you think about is the safety, the care, the health of one of your brothers.
You can see some of his teammates, like Atlas Harrion, trying to talk to him as he is being secured into the stretcher. Well, in case you're just joining us, a timeout on the field for an injury to Michael King, the right guard. But this game began with a defensive struggle. Jerome Nichols of the Frankfurt Galaxy put the first points on the board with a safety as he sacked quarterback Jared Allen in the end zone. And then the running game got going in the second half for the Frankfurt Galaxy. Amsterdam, the #1 passing team in the league, has struggled so far. In particular, their leading receiver, Skylar Fulton, who led this league in receptions and in yards. He only has 4 catches for 41 yards, but he's been playing with a bad hamstring throughout this game. Nonetheless, the championship game of NFL Europe is down to the final 2.5 minutes, and it is an 8-point lead with the Galaxy holding on.
Kurt, the good thing here, as tragic as this is, with the right guard, Michael King of the Amsterdam Admirals, down on the field in a stretcher, they're taking all the right precautions here. I mean, they've got him strapped in right now. It looks like the medical attention is the right thing. They've got the ambulance on the field right here. So the same things that you would see in the National Football League, in the NCAA college football, all those precautions are being taken care of right here. When players have gotten hurt over here, they have a facility in Birmingham, Alabama, where the players go to. They've got to be medically cleared down there before they either come back here or go back to the respective teams. So the players have been looked after properly.
And as we have mentioned earlier, the good signs that we have seen from King is we have seen movement in his legs and hands, and his teammates have been conversing with him. And so you hope that this is more precaution than anything.
This was the play that he was injured on. It was a sack of the quarterback, Jared Allen, by Josh Cooper and Jerome Nichols. He really just fell at the very end of the play. Here it is. Here's Michael King, the right guard, in the picture. Big, athletic, 300-pound body just fell at the end of the play over the pile. Very difficult to see what might have happened.
And the reason the admiration from both teams wanting to let him know how much they care is because I think players everywhere, no matter what level you play at, understand that at any play this could happen to you.
Yeah. It is a violent game with collisions on every single play. They wear the equipment, Kurt. They train themselves year-round. You try to protect yourself as much as you can with the weightlifting, with the armor and all that, but yet it's still a very violent game. And these kind of collisions can produce these kind of results.
We will point out again that we have seen movement from his arms and legs, and it appears as though he never lost consciousness as he was conversing with the doctors and teammates throughout.
A lot of times you're scared to death down there. I mean, you lose feeling in your fingers, your hands, and you don't know what to do. You're more scared than anything, and you come out and you get some medical attention. You talk to the people, and it's better just to play it safe, play everything safe, get you strapped in, get you in the ambulance, get you to the hospital, do all the x-rays you have to do, and hopefully, everything's going to be fine by tonight.
Referee mic check.
And so as they put King into the awaiting ambulance, you hear the cheer from the crowd. Both squads go back to their respective sidelines and get ready to try and play the last 2.5 minutes of this championship game. And as we said, you know, the delay is going to be something that may take both teams a little while to get their adrenaline going once again. But, you know, this is an important one from a football standpoint only for the Amsterdam Admirals here, as they have 2.5 minutes to chase this championship.
Well, that's what you have to do. I mean, that's just football players are trained like that, Kurt. I mean, there are injuries that happen at practice and games. They've had delays and stoppages like this throughout their careers at the high school, the college, the pro level. And now you see guys right now trying to pump themselves back up. It's the same thing for the fans. Same concern for the fans as the players. You can see that those are all offensive linemen right here. I mean, it's a very tight fraternity. We talked about how these guys live with one another for 3 months, get to know each other like they haven't known anybody since college or some family members. And that offensive line will say something amongst themselves that they're going to try to win this championship right now for Mike King, and that's what they're going to rally around.
When we resume, Amsterdam will have the ball at the 35-yard line, needing a touchdown and a 2-point conversion in order to tie the game up. And that's what's on the line, the World Bowl trophy, which goes to the champion of NFL Europe, the Amsterdam Admirals, the defending title holders, as Bart Andrus tries to make it 2 championships in a row as head coach in Amsterdam. Andrus won a World Bowl ring as assistant with the Rhine Fire. On that same staff back in 2000 was Mike Jones, both on the offensive side of the football for the Rhine Fire.
We asked Bart Andrews yesterday when we talked to him, Kurt, you know, how difficult is it to beat a team 3 times in a season? He said, well, when I was the quarterback coach of the Tennessee Titans back in 1999, we beat Jacksonville 3 times, the 3rd time in the playoffs to get to the Super Bowl, which they eventually lost to the Rams. His daughter is running in Butte, Montana today. Brooke, who's got a full scholarship to the University of Montana to run track. She's trying to defend 3 straight titles of the 800 meters, the 1600, and the 3200 meters. And he said if we could just say a hello out her today. He sacrificed, doesn't get a chance to watch his oldest daughter run and defend those state championships today.
So dad trying to defend a World Bowl title, daughter Brooke trying to defend 3 state track championships. And that's part of the sacrifice you talked about. We've talked about so often that coaches, players, training staff members, front office people, PR people, that they make to spend this time away from their family to try and chase the dream of playing in the National Football League. And
that's the key, Kurt, chasing the dream, because for the officials, for us, the announcers, for coaches, trainers, they're all trying to get to the NFL, and this is a training ground for everybody, and everybody understands that that's why they're here, to get better. It's got 5 teams in Germany, 1 team in Amsterdam. They've got a real foothold right here in Central Europe. Teams are pretty close. They build up very quick rivals with one another. That's a good sign from the fans as this ambulance is getting ready to leave the field.
Well, the ambulance is still on the 50-yard line. You can see players from both offense and defense already on the field trying to get limbered up, trying to warm up, trying to loosen up, which can be a concern if you're a player because they've stood around for nearly 15 minutes now.
Good thing, Kurt, these are young kids. You know, they're 24, 25 years old. They don't need the 3-in-1 motor oil quite as badly as, you know, some veterans do.
Well, for a number of these guys, they'll finish up these 2.5 minutes here in NFL Europe and go right back to the States and start all over again. A couple of teams have their team workouts beginning this week.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it doesn't stop. For a lot of these guys, it's going to be one full year of football before they get a break. They've started up here right after the Super Bowl, Kirk, down in Tampa, Florida, 3 weeks of training camp. And then they've been over here for the last 11 weeks. And they're going back into their mini camps to get ready for the summer training camp. And our prayers and wishes go out to Mike King, his family, down in Louisiana.
And once again, we want to reiterate that we did see movement from his hands and feet, and he was talking to his teammates while he was on the field. So the game will continue with Amsterdam having it on second down at the 36-yard line. Allen regains his balance and runs. Jared Allen, a couple of collisions in there. He picks up 10 yards on the run.
Looking at the 2-minute warning right here.
They'll just
know they're going to get a stoppage.
Well, Amsterdam had to debate whether or not to take the timeout.
This is the
2-minute warning, or let it run to the 2-minute warning. They chose the latter. And so it will be a 3rd and long situation with 2 minutes left and them needing a touchdown. Well, this game started off with the defenses slugging it out, and the Frankfurt Galaxy defense put the first points on the board. Jerome Nichols with the sack of Jared Allen for a 2-0 lead in the second quarter. Larry Kroom scored from 12 yards out. And the third quarter became the running attack of the Frankfurt Galaxy. Butchie Wallace with a touchdown run. A couple of David Kimball field goals later, it's an 8-point ball game. And the Frankfurt Galaxy are holding on, relying on their defense to come up with a big stop, they hope, one more time.
Over here. Right bunch,
Bunch formation here, 3 receivers. He's looking hard to his left.
They need the 15-yard line, obviously 4-down territory. Blitz picked up. Allen with time, going for the end zone. Contact, no flags. Chad Lucas, the intended receiver. Giselio Hansen there on the coverage.
Well, Chad Lucas slipped in the end zone right here. Never really had a chance to make this completion. Lucas right here. Gonna run to the corner. Just a corner route. Got Giselio Hansen right on his hip. Maybe a little contact there as well. But they let him play. Comes down to a big 4th down right here.
Left, right, land.
They need to get it to the 15 for the first.
Here's his favorite target, Skylar Fulton in the slot.
Allen on 4th down. For the end zone, Lucas batted away by Lenny Williams.
Frankfurt could taste it. The fans could taste it. The team could taste it right here. Under a little bit of pressure right here, but got one-on-one coverage to Lucas, who led this league in touchdown receptions this year with 8. Threw it up there. Lenny Williams of the Dallas Cowboys, though, in perfect position to defend it. Threw it up there for a jump ball.
Bart Andrus. Disappointment. And Frankfurt will do its best to run out the clock. Amsterdam with 3 timeouts. They drop Butchie Wallace for a loss.
Timeout, Amsterdam. This is their first charge timeout. It will be a 30-second timeout.
An update on Michael King, the injured player from Amsterdam. We're told he injured his neck, but he could feel all parts of his body, and it was precautionary to strap him in and take him out. So good news there concerning Michael King.
Bad news, though, for Bart Andrews here on that last 4th and 11. Trying to repeat as World Bowl champions. Got 2 timeouts left here. They had a chance to get the ball back.
Exactly. They've still got 2 timeouts to work with. If their defense can come up with a couple of stops, there's still time left on the clock as well.
0-17 force.
Got to believe that Frankfurt will keep the ball on the ground.
All right, here we go. 0-17 force on 1. Ready?
Going to run this ball to the left. Behind their left tackle, Will Svitek here.
Set.
Should be coming right over here.
Butchie Wallace. Stutter steps and gets open. Wallace. Caught from behind inside the 15, but that run should put this game away. Butchie Wallace. 63 yards and a lot of space towards victory.
Right behind that left side that we talked a lot about today, behind Manny Akkad and Will Svitek. He gets the split. Roger Robinson injured with the toe. Butchie Wallace has stepped up today.
30-second timeout.
Been the star player in this game.
143 yards rushing for Wallace, his first 100-yard game of the season. But already, the Frankfurt Galaxy are thinking about victory as Daniel Benetka gets the defensive coordinator Ed O'Neill on the old Gatorade bucket.
I think a lot of people might get the Gatorade bucket before this is over.
Look at that total. And in the first half, Roger Robinson had 25 yards on the ground, and we were talking about how Frankfurt wasn't able to run the football.
Kurt, you know, but if that's what you do, I mean, we said that there was a contrast in styles today, that Frankfurt liked to run it, Amsterdam liked to throw it. You got to stay with what you do. And they stayed with it in the second half, and they stayed with it, and they wore Amsterdam down. And Butchie Wallace is the star player today. And you know, the backup running back rarely is the star, but today, Butchie Wallace made a name for himself.
Frankfurt from the 13. J.R. Nicholas getting around the corner and into the end zone, and that should put it away. Celebration began as the Frankfurt Galaxy get in firm control of this ball game, going up pending the extra point by 14. It's now a 22-7 lead with just over a minute left to play.
There's some good players on the left side of this offensive line of the Frankfurt Galaxy.
There's a penalty flag down on the extra point.
Watch Svitek over here. Gets up on the outside, on the cornerback, the safety. J.R. Nicholas stays on him. Nicholas, who played over here last year, gives the fans something to cheer about. Kurt, what an afternoon for Butchie Wallace, a guy that wasn't even supposed to be on this roster to start the season. A guy that is not allocated by any team trying to get back into the NFL. This is a dream for him. Been with the Minnesota Vikings in training camp the last 2 seasons. Mike Tice liked him up there, but he's been injured and banged up.
Number 99 defense. The 15-yard penalty will be enforced on the kickoff.
And Butchie Wallace may be in a good situation. A lot of these guys sent over by teams already under contract to NFL teams. You know, Butchie does not have a contract, but he's been able to show what he can do and may be able to market himself better.
Kurt, even these guys that are part of teams, I mean, they want to get themselves on film, because if things don't work out with their film, with their team, they want to be able to show that film to other teams and say, look what I did over in Europe this year. Take a look at me. I'm a guy that you can sign, you can depend on, that has played this year, that has played a lot of snaps, a lot of experience. That's the offensive line coach, a guy that is much loved over here, Whitey Jordan. 49 years of coaching. Done a great job of putting that offensive line together.
This is like a countdown. You get the defensive coordinator, then the offensive coordinator, And now the head coach, Mike Jones, somewhere on the scale next.
Yeah, and you said that the last 4 MVP coaches have won World Bowls, and that holds true this year with Mike Jones.
Yeah, he'll be the 5th straight coach of the year. And there's one more bucket left.
There's nothing in there, Kurt. The bucket's empty. They got to find the full bucket.
Did you fill one up?
So they got to check it first. Another empty bucket. Mike Jones might be able to get out of here unscathed.
He might escape. They're looking.
Look. They're
going to fill it up.
Yeah, they're going to go fill that bucket up.
They're taking the water out of the drinking jars and pouring it in the bucket.
They're going to be telling this story for years on end about how we doused our head coach.
Whatever makes it work.
They got him, too.
They got him finally.
Yeah,
and I'm sure he appreciates that. His first World Bowl victory as a head coach. He won 2 as an assistant with the Rhine Fire and lost 1 as a head coach here with Frankfurt, but now has 1 to claim his own.
Kurt, you know what's bigger than the World Bowl trophy when you win a championship? Is the memories. And these are the type of memories you're talking about right here. They'll remember that.
How about Svitek setting him up and holding him there?
That's what a good offensive lineman does. It's teamwork, Kurt. Svitek held him up. The other tackle, Rob Dragies, dumped it on him.
Jared Allen and the Admirals is trying to put some yardage and whatever they can up on the board as he gets that one out to Kenosha, and the clock continues to run. You can see hugs all along that Frankfurt sideline, and why not? They won a hard-fought game, scored only 2 points in the first half, coming on a safety, and their #1 ranked offense in the league looked like it was struggling, but the second half came out, they got the running game going, and the points followed. And that one falls incomplete, and Frankfurt's now 30 seconds away from officially being crowned World Bowl XIV champions.
Of course, kind of an amazing process. You know, they start in training camp in the beginning of February. You know, 50, 60 guys that have never met each other come together. You know, they put this thing together very quickly. They figure out their game plan. They take to the coaching. Here they are over here, and look at the fans. The fans got the sparklers, the lights going like it's a great concert. And there is an immediate attachment between the fans, the city, the teammates. It grows so quickly.
Well, this is one that they will certainly remember forever. That one falls incomplete, and you know, you talked before just about getting your opportunity and taking advantage of it. Well, all these players doing a good job of taking advantage of their opportunities, but maybe none better than the running backs for the Frankfurt Galaxy today. Roger Robinson, 96 yards rushing, had to leave the game with a bad ankle, but set a rushing record in NFL Europe this season for the most yards ever in a single year. He gets hurt. Butchie Wallace comes in. Wallace puts up 143 yards rushing. That's the second most rushing yards ever in a World Bowl.
Look at Roger Robinson there. You know, with the pads off, he was the best running back in this league. His foot's in a boot, but he doesn't care right now. He wants to celebrate this victory, this championship, before he goes home to see his wife, who he hasn't seen in the last 4 months. Look at that.
Everybody, I love you. Right there.
Wallace is the name to remember tonight. We mentioned everybody calls him Butchie, but his name is Franklin Delano III. And he said, hey, if your name was Franklin Delano III, wouldn't you let people call you Butchie?
Yeah, that's kind of how he said it, but really, he's as big as the president today. You know, he feels like a Franklin Delano because it's been a heck of an afternoon, and he took advantage of his carries. And that's really what you have to do, Kurt, at the NFL level, is when somebody gets hurt, there's an opportunity for somebody else to step in. I mean, when Trent Green got hurt in St. Louis years ago, I mean, to be able to see a guy like Kurt Warner step up, become the MVP of the league, win a Super Bowl, that's what you do when you get an opportunity.
An appropriate way for the Frankfurt Galaxy defense to finish their 6th sack of the ball game, and they were a big part of today's victory. 22-7 the final, and the Frankfurt Galaxy are World Bowl champions.
horseshit, I tell you. This is the end of the game.
The celebration just beginning as the Frankfurt Galaxy are crowned champions of World Bowl XIV. They win it 22-7 over the defending title holder, Amsterdam. And Frankfurt wins the 4th World Bowl title in the franchise's history. We'll be back here in Düsseldorf for the crowning ceremonies and the announcement of the MVP of World Bowl XIV. Congratulations, Frankfurt. You're the champs. The Frankfurt Galaxy are champions of World Bowl XIV, the best team in NFL Europe for 2006. And they did it with a spectacular second-half performance, 219 yards rushing in the second half alone. They had 238 yards of offense in the second half, and after scoring only 2 points in the first half, go on to win it 22-7 to capture the World Bowl title. You know, Brian Baldinger and myself, this week we spoke to so many players on both teams, asking them if they had ever won a championship at any level, high school, pee-wee, college, and I don't think we ran into a single player who said they had. So you know that today's championship is something special because it's never happened in their lives before, and it's the culmination of a season of sweat, tears, pain, and now joy. The trophy presentation will begin in just a moment, and also the announcement as to just whom is the MVP of this game. And if you look at the second half that Butchie Wallace had, 135 yards rushing in the second half, 143 alone, and then you take an eye and see him walking up to the podium, you get a feeling he may be the guy. But first, the trophy presentation. And the World Bowl trophy will be presented to the Frankfurt Galaxy and their head coach, Mike Jones. And you know Jones has to be happy. And now NFL Senior Vice President of International, Mark Waller, and Chairman of the Board of ANBW, Professor Dr. Utz Klassen, are handing over the Yellowstrom World Bowl trophy to the Frankfurt Galaxy. Congratulations,
Wir machen
Galaxy.
natürlich Party mit den Fans und damit geht's weiter mit der World Bowl. Und wir kommen zur Überreichung der begehrten Kugel hier in der LTO Arena. Der NFL Senior Vice President of International,
in many languages.
Mark
Whatever
Waller,
language you want to go with, the Galaxy are champions.
Professor Dr. Utz Klassen überreichen jetzt den Yellowstone World Bowl. And NFL Senior Vice President of International, Mark Waller, and Chairman of the Board of NBW, Professor Dr. Utz Klassen, are handing over the Yellowstone World Bowl trophy to Frankfurt Galaxy!
Happy head coach Mike Jones, 7 years as a wide receiver in the National Football League, 8 years as a coach here in NFL Europe, the last 3 as head coach of the Galaxy. He's gotten the team into the World Bowl twice, but this is his first time leaving with a victory. The smile says it all, doesn't it? It's a celebration that's just beginning, but you've got a feeling it's going to go on for a long time. Much like the running performance in the second half of the game's MVP, who's standing by with our Brian Baldinger. Baldy?
I'm with Butchie Wallace, the MVP, with 143 yards and a touchdown. Butchie, there's no better feeling than this right here, is there?
No better feeling. You know, we came out struggling in the first half. You know, we had to get things going. On special teams, we had the good, great field position, and basically we just had to execute as far as running in, throwing the ball. They started bringing 8 and 9 guys in the box, you know, trying to stop the run, which they were successful in the first half of doing that. But we got all of our receivers making big plays for us tonight, and they were able to open up the defense for the running game, and it showed tonight.
Butchie, personally here, what kind of satisfaction is it for you? You didn't start the season here in Frankfurt. You were in Birmingham. Here you are. You worked your way up through the ranks, onto the team, onto the roster, and then to become the MVP of this game. What's it like for you right now?
Well, I had no idea. This is my first time ever getting the MVP of anything. You know, I just give all credit to the offensive line. They were sucking it up. They were tired tonight. Of course, when you run the ball from one end of the end zone to the other, you're going to get tired, but they were able to suck it up, and we knew their defense was tired too, and we kind of fed off that.
But you get out there and celebrate with your team. Kurt, we said it was a contrast in styles. One team liked to run it, one team liked to throw it. The team that ran it tonight with the MVP, Butchie Wallace, brings home the championship trophy.
Literally running to victory. The Frankfurt Galaxies are World Bowl XIV champions, and they couldn't be happier. What a game this has been. What a season this has been here in NFL Europe. We appreciate those of you that have watched us from start to finish, from week 1 until the crowning of a champion here on NFL Network. And for my partner, Brian Baldinger, and all of us that have worked here for NFL Network this NFL Europe League season from start to finish, I'm Kurt Menefee saying so long from Düsseldorf, where once again the Galaxies are champions of World Bowl XIV, winning over Amsterdam 22-7. We thank you for watching NFL Network.